Still got a cold. Funny thing is, nobody else around me has it. I almost took my my nighttime medicine too early. Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, man. I had my
You took your
medication in
sleep
my mouth.
medicine?
Almost. Wait a minute. I'll take one of them. Yeah, you have to get to see a doctor to get another renewal. I used to bring my printouts from the. I used to get mine by mail order, and we went to the doctor, but I don't know. It's partly their fault creating a suspicious thought about it because it's 100 milligrams that I was prescribing, and they only have 25. So, I have to get 90, 120 just to take three or four of those a day. But that's where we are here. What are you going to do?
We got snow on the ground here, just dusting.
You do? I think they got some in Wisconsin. What is it? 29 Fahrenheit there right now.
Yeah, something like that.
That makes
Cold
them
and
feel
snow on
any
the ground.
better. Yeah, the last time I walked out of my house.
What's the temperature in Buckhorn? About 80.
Let me see. '76.
Wow.
Rainy season, so
It's 9:30 in the evening.
here, yeah, almost. Yeah. What was I doing earlier? I had some funny joke things I kept putting on there. Hilarious. You see the one I put on there about the lady in the golf cart? She was on her cell phone. She pulled up to her friend's house and hit it so hard she fell out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And she got back in and did this shit again.
Hit the same pedal on the right the second time, too.
I used to get pissed at my niece. Yeah. My dad at the time, I think he was, I don't even know, damn near 80 or if not 80. A little bit over, possibly. Well, it's before that, late 70s, 80. And he was carting her all around, I mean, she lived there for free. She walked people's dogs, so there's no, she's getting cash. I said, you tell her to ride the fucking bus or something, because if something happens to you, she's gonna be laying next to you. She'll fucking bum. So he had a cell phone too, and I'm like, man, oh man, he's the wrong. He had one of those older ones, I know that. So that's the last thing he needed to be doing, Ay, ay, ay. Hello. Annette, I'm losing subscribers like crazy. I haven't made a video in ages. Every time I think about doing that, I just gotta watch these workers around here. If I don't go outside, they're working like snails, I'm sitting there listening to my music today. Thank you for liking. the kid was, because whatever song he had, it was high pitched. Everything was cool. Everything was from the late 70s, 70s. And he was doing it just to be irritated. Now he's the only guy that um, he goes out to get cigarettes after lunch is over. It's an hour and a half eating and snoozing. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. You guys go back. On the 23rd, they're going home. Those two can stay back. I wasn't born yesterday. So I told him I want to save money up to have the extension done on that front part there, the shade, So I keep adding shit as soon as I'm done. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anybody here. But I told him as far as the wall goes, because it's scheduled to have a concrete road put in here 2026. The guy kind of smiles and he says it. So I'm going to have the front facing the road, the sides of the driveway and the front that face the road done all the way, the final and a skim so you can paint it. And the other one, I'll get to it when I get to it, because it don't even matter. I never see the other side. But one of the guys I got here who lives right across the road, he knows how to do all that anyway. So I'd have to pay him like the skilled carpenter kind of money. So I have no problem with that, because I think he's only missed 2 days in a year and a half he's been coming here. He has to bring his kid with him for some reason. I think his wife works a job where she works 6 or 7 days, 6 days a week, I think. She must have to ride a bus somewhere or something, because to do it at 5 o'clock, end of the day, he's in no hurry to go home. He hangs out with the guys over there. And he has a kid he brings with him. So, but he does good work.
What does his kid do? Just hang out at your house?
No, not mine. I mean, he's about 25, something like that. You got daughters, so his daughter's about 7 or something like that, 8. And at the end of the day, they stay over at the mother-in-law's place on the other side of the wall here. And he's in no hurry to go home. I mean, if I worked all day, I'd be scooting home every day. You're probably spending, 3 hours when the kid goes to bed, something, But the kid's hair is always done up nice every day. Just I don't know. Then when she came up here once that I've seen, it kind of looked like she could be his sister. They got the same kind of eyes. Merry Christmas to you, Nanette. Oh yeah, got me on the light too. Good evening. Christmas to all. I think this is my second one here. Yeah, it is. Still though, when the temperature's down like down a little, it feels cold. My youngest sister lives in Florida now, and she's telling me, I said, yeah, I know all about that. I was doing that a long time ago, going down there. But your colder nights, be in the 40s sometimes. Not here, Sometimes we get a breeze from south, from the South Pole there. I imagine very comfortable. I only recall one time thinking, man, if I was outside, I need a jacket out here.
Hey, did you hear from home in Wisconsin? Did they get hammered with some snow in the last couple of days?
No, I didn't hear nothing. My mom's in Florida with my youngest sister. Well, I wouldn't
'Cause
know.
I know like a week or two ago, we got lake effect snow up in northern Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York. They got hammered
That lake
at
effect
like
can be
2 feet.
yeah, that lake effect can be just as bad as a winter storm out of the Rockies. That stuff is. We had a forecast one day when I was driving, and it said light snow. Starting whatever in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. That light snow, man, turned into a blizzard. It took what should have been about a 12-minute trip from the courthouse to the first stop before you get to the freeway. And man, oh man, it was a whiteout. Look, when I made it back the first time, and this guy says, there's a lady and a guy there. Oh, have you? I'm the whatever 43 flyer. Went to a Whitnall park and ride. That's where we went with those. And I got back. I did a trip on a shorter one. I think a 47 before that. And the guy says, "Yeah, could you call up and find out?" I said, "Man, everything's behind. I'm not going to get no call back on this thing." He says, "Well, you're here." I said, "That's because I'm good." The lady was laughing, but I was so focused on this driving. Always got compliments on the flyers about my handling of the buses in the shitty wind. With the snow coming down. Because when we got off the freeway, I didn't know where the hell I was for seconds. Because my eyes were right down in front of me, looking down at the road the whole time. We had one over there on they call it not the high rise, the Home Bridge. It was named after one of the mayors, HONE, and right off the lake. So it can get pretty windy up there. And drive that sucker with a bus with a high profile vehicle, when the wind's blowing like that.
So I suppose you heard about the news out of Madison earlier this week.
A little bit, not much. I looked at a little bit of it today. I don't know what that was about.
15-year-old.
She shot herself or what?
Yeah, and like 7 other people.
And she killed the teacher and
Yeah, 2
the
right
other
now. So far, just 2 others.
yeah, they're in the
6 injured, 2 critical.
serious condition. Well, she either got fucked with or sounded like her home life was kind of fucked.
Oh yeah.
I know how that could be because I knew a young kid that did the waitressing at we had a Friday night bowling league, and they had that beer called Bulldog. I'd always be shouting, "Get out of there!" After a while, she just kind of wouldn't come around, or she'd get pissed. Well, her parents, instead of getting divorced at that point in time, they were still living together, so it was constant fighting. Just a shitty environment. Nice kid too. She was, but yeah, who knows what go through people's minds? You're in a pretty emotional period in your life in your teens. Maybe she wasn't balanced. I don't know who this dude was, where he was offering advice and shit how to handle crap like this or how to. I don't get it, man. They don't charge. They should charge that fucking guy too. You know, because I remember that girl that told this guy she was seeing said, I'll kill him. I said, I'll go ahead and do it. She encouraged him to do it, thinking he wouldn't do it, and he did it. She got some kind of penalty for that.
Well, it said something like he was the only person that she confided in, or she had no family, friends to talk. So this guy, it was long distance. He's in California, they said.
Yeah.
But they did pick him up on some charges. I don't know what they.
Yeah, you know what? One of my friend's sons, he did a little umpiring in the league, but he had a temper. He had a problem. I don't know what the hell that's called. I forget. But he would just go nuts, and anybody would say anything negative about him or anything, he'd get all crazy. But I had forgotten him. My son told me he died, he OD'd. He got off of that meth shit, and he was doing pretty good, I guess. Because his dad was telling me, and I had forgotten about it because I haven't seen him in a while. And he made cabinets, and then he had that business had to close, and then he went off, to a factory. He was a jack of all trades, with really no documentation, but that dude could do a lot, And I said, hey man, how's everybody doing? Their youngest kid, he was a short kid, so they were giving him this. He was taking some pill something to make him grow, so he wouldn't be 4'8". But it was working, yeah. And I said, hey man, I saw Steven, and his wife, her mind got rocked. She worked for this optometrist for 25 years, and one day he goes, yeah, don't need you no more. Just fucking kicked her to the curb, man. And it really messed her with her head. Then her kid dies. My friend he found him in it upstairs, He called out his name, and they went out to eat, and he came back, and he was all foamed at the mouth, and he was in the closet. I said, Jesus Christ, man, I don't know how that guy can take all of that, He seemed to be, I mean, he goes, man, I do this and that, and then, well, the kid got charged. The kid that supplied him with the shit, he coaxed him into doing it. Whatever happened to that, I have no idea. But his wife was always, a short thing. I'm sitting on their staircase inside the house, facing the wall, because he's standing to the left of me. Yeah, this house, I got to tell you this house looked like a standard ranch, 3-bedroom ranch with an addition, like on top. If you open that door, man, he had this fantastic staircase. Freaking beautiful, man. The whole house. We all had the same kind of layout, but his was different, it was phenomenal looking. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and he goes, oh, geez, because I hear his wife talk, and I look to my left. She's standing there with no short, nothing on underneath her waist. And I said, something's got to be wrong with her, man, because the one I knew, the person I knew that I remembered would have never done something like that. I look back right away, wishing I'd never looked, That's a sad deal, man. I always tell my kids, you got a problem, call me, but the second to, at least they were young, when me and their mother got sick. So I was waiting for a bus downtown relieving. Some of the routes we had to relieve downtown. And I saw him, because I had sold him my car. I had 19,000 miles on it. 2011 Honda Civic. He had 140 on it when it sold to the dealer or whatever. Something about exhaust system or some bullshit. He had to put in a AC air conditioner pump or something. Well, I mean, he made some god awful noises. And because it all ran off of one belt. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But so I sent him a message, texted, That before that I'd said, don't ever do text while you drive. And he didn't know I saw him, because I saw him and then I sent the message and he answered me back right away. I said, you do that shit again, I'll take that fucking car from you. I said, yeah. Well, yeah, man. I mean, everybody says, yeah. Then they end up, on the freaking slab there, man. So don't do it. I mean, you got a hands-free deal. Most of these, you plug them in. You can plug them in and run them through your radio. Even if they're not equipped to wireless, you can still do it wired. I mean, either that or you make a regular phone call, for crying out loud. Merry Christmas in the Philippines is beautiful to be in.
Where you at, Simply? Are you in the Philippines?
What's that?
I said, where's she at, Philippines?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe she's at. I forget where she lived up there. She's in Luzon, I think.
OFW.
Yeah, she worked. That's awesome, dude. I forget what she worked for. Appraisal guy or something. I forget. It is a government job, I think, and that's still there. She has a channel here. She does. So I watched all of that when I was in America because I had nothing to do. And right now I do. I always have the phone on, Jack's always, once in a while he'll go, hey, I'm having a live. But, I got to go outside and watch these guys working. Otherwise they won't do it. I went out there one time a couple of days ago and they had this little section done. I think they started at 8. When her uncle ran the shop, he started it when the sun came up, quit when the sun went down. And, I come out there after lunch, same shit. They didn't do nothing. I said, what is this shit? Before the end of the day, he had half of the other wall done. Everybody knows, thanks to him, everybody knows how to fling that, shit to the wall. Make sure it sticks. So they did pretty good. They improved today. I would have liked them to have got done with the. They're leaving on after the 23rd. I would have liked to have gotten around the backyard, to the other side where they stopped on that side, but not yet. Because after that, then you have to do the finish. Well, they're doing the finish now, and after they lock that shit on, later on. And then they got to do the one to prep it for painting, so it isn't so rough, it gets smooth. All those guys know how to do that. But 2 guys, I told them that you look almost kind of depressed because he goes, hey, I'm the skilled one. I shouldn't have to be working like this.
I was going to ask you, do you intend to put a gate at the end of your driveway? You know how a lot of people have a gate at their house?
Yeah, then I could keep gates within the property too, going to the backyard.
But I mean, do you have one already or a gate? Hello?
Do I what?
Do you have a gate at the end of your driveway now?
No. My dog Bobby died, so got these little. I don't know. This one looks like a little German. She could have been a German Shepherd bloodline down. Same those years. Well, she's taking it upon herself to run in my house to take a shit in the fucking, the other part of the kitchen. Like 2 days in a row because
I think she likes it.
I think it's either her or the other little one. I'll just drive the other one somewhere and drop her off. Uh, I know they poisoned my other dog, Billy, but they'd rather poison them than to teach their kid no dog likes to have somebody's face right in their face all the time.
It's like
You know,
my daughter's cat. She likes to pee right on my leather chair where I sit,
yeah.
where my butt has indentation on my chair, right?
Uh,
So I always have to check now before I sit down, see if there's a little puddle there.
how old is the cat?
I think they're like 2.
That's
There were 2 in
something.
October or something like that. So,
You can
oh,
get
we got snowflakes coming down now.
good for you.
Yeah.
You can check into the vet. You can get some certain medicine or something. We had one like that 2 years ago. I'd be sleeping, all of a sudden I'd be pissing on my chest. Because once they start doing it, they don't stop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they find well, this one likes to sleep on my chest. It never fails. Every night I get into bed, she hears me getting in bed or putting the covers on.
Uh,
As soon as I'm in bed for about 30 seconds, boom, I feel her foot, you know, feel her walking up right up my leg, up laying down on my chest. That's where she wants us. Not the whole night, but
oh yeah.
she'll
She just
even when I'm sitting in my chair here, she'll get up on my chest and just lay down, and then she'll purr like crazy, So I guess that means they're
oh yeah, they're
content
happy.
or something,
Oh sure. Yeah. Yeah, I love 2 cats. The thing is when those things start when they're getting ready to die, is they'll start pissing and shitting all over the place. And that
she's all black, totally black. And then we got another one. Her sister is all black, except she's got a little white spot right in the middle of her chest. That's the only way to tell her. Well, I can tell them apart now because the one with a little bit of white has thicker fur. But this one, just from day one, man, she's always clung to me. And
but you said she's pissing on your chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have them, man.
Not every day. I mean, she has her own litter box, but
keep it clean.
Maybe she's fond of since I'm not here to sit on my chest. Maybe
no, they're
mad.
Cats are usually precise about what they do and why they do it, man. So
yeah.
So I got to take that thing that I forget what they give them, but if it keeps persisting, because cat piss, dog piss don't leave, but once it gets in this shit, you ain't getting it out.
Well, I got one of these little, when the kids were little, they had these like little plastic chairs, hard plastic chairs. It's like for a 2-year-old to sit on, but we still have one of them. So if I get up anymore, I put that on my chair. So she don't like having to navigate, through something to pee. So
well,
I have to set that on my chair.
2 years old, they could live to be freaking 18 years old.
Oh yeah.
So, man, I went into this house we were looking for houses years ago, and we ended up didn't take it because it was on a busy street. But we walk in there, and they must have let the dogs and cat, whatever pests. The smell was so strong. The lady had incense burning, and my wife was just overcome by
Now was this with Rose or was this?
No. The other one, long time ago, back in
yeah. Well, see, I would never know that myself if I went to look somewhere myself because I can't smell, right? So
because it went in. I mean, it burned your nostrils. So anyway, that was just one part of it, and then in the downstairs, the had cracks which weren't. that big of a deal yet. It was just within the mortar, you know. And it was because of water. The water kept backing up, and that's over a long period of time. There was a freaking kegger. There was a pump in the gutter. So the kids, somebody forgot to take that thing, you know. Either that or that's where they. But anyway, we come back. We came back and saw it like 2 months later. The realtor bought it, and man, it was a phenomenal job, you know. But he had new carpeting. Of course, that has that smell, the new carpeting smell. Because we said, yeah, man, we went through there and you could just smell it.
So does all new carpet smell?
Yeah, it does. New carpet, yeah.
And
nice,
does it all smell the same, whether it's like shag or indoor
I
or
think
outdoor?
so.
Really?
I don't know, man. Shag.
So it's just some certain material they use, huh, that smells.
I don't. Yeah, gotta be something with the glue or whatever.
It's like people said there's a new car smell. What, you know, since I never experienced that, what's it smell like? I mean, do all new cars smell the same, or?
No, the new cars.
Some of them have leather interior, right? Some of them are cloth.
Yeah, the smell of cleanness. It never got dirty from nothing. It never got stanked up, even by a mud on your shoe. And, you know, the plastic's all.
Even by a flea fart.
You know, it's all nice, man. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But that other stuff that's nothing like a new car. You know, one of my our clerk at work, one guy retired. He's an Italian guy, and stuff like brand new vehicles. He goes, oh, he loved that smell. You know, he'd open it. I stopped at work for I forget what I went in there for, and yeah, he had a Tundra. He had a two-wheel drive Ford, and he was so embarrassed because he got stuck in out of his garage. So he bought a Toyota Tundra 4x4. And he used to love to open up my door to my truck. He'd say, "Don't never smoke in it. Don't do that." You know, oh, that smells so nice in there. But he went and bought a Ford anyway after that Toyota. He had that Toyota like 20 years.
You ever see these YouTube shorts of these vehicles, you know, when they're coming down a hill, it's all iced up and they can't stop. You ever watch?
Yeah.
There's videos out there of, and it's funny just to watch it, you know, because, you know, you've been there and I've been there. And that's a helpless feeling, right? When you're in. Let
me tell you what's helpless.
Your vehicle and you're moving.
He's driving a bus that weighs 38 tons. Or 38,000 pounds, I think. What was it? I forget what tonnage it is.
19 tons.
But we're going down, yeah, I think it was 18 some change. But we were going down a hill. And driving a bus with all that weight, it's like having 4 bald tires.
Yeah.
You're at the mercy of that freaking road, man.
Yeah.
And you're going, you're true. You know, you're trying to. You got your. If you put a rock up your ass, you'd have a diamond in it by the time you got.
Did you play bumper pool with the parked cars on the way down, or what?
Nah, nothing like that. But it'd be okay when it hit a snowbank or something.
Right.
You know. There's Mr. Gary.
Hey,
Gary, how are you?
I'm okay. How about all the buzz on the internet, on YouTube now?
About what?
About what?
Mark Thornton died.
Oh, dude was in the Philippines here, eh?
Every man has a story.
Yeah, well, I saw a picture of him, and I was going through channels or something, but I didn't bother to stop and read it. He's a pretty tall guy. He looked like he was my sister's ex-husband. You know, he was a piece of shit.
6'4".
Yeah, no, that wasn't it. My ex-brother-in-law was like 5'9" or 7 or something.
Yeah, isn't
what happened?
Isn't their baby under a year old?
He had He died yesterday about 5:12. He was in the hospital. He had a stroke.
How long was he in?
I think only the day.
Well,
Like a massive stroke or something, you
He
know.
had a stroke. He had a stroke from eating all that bullshit, probably.
And he and his wife just had a baby. It's like less than like 6 months old.
yeah, I think on one of his videos he said he had a heart attack before, and he had like quadruple bypass, and so
Well,
he has
he
said that he's had issues
Yeah,
like
exactly. He did have that. But I heard also that I heard that he had stopped some of his medication because he couldn't get it and couldn't get a substitute. And also, I heard that he stopped his blood pressure medication.
that. Yeah, because he thought
Yeah.
his lifestyle was better and he was feeling better, so
Exactly. That's a
he
problem.
made it. He
That's
made his
why-
own diagnosis.
Exactly. That's a problem with like blood pressure. They call that the
his
silent killer.
He had a problem with him is that he didn't have. I don't think he had a good pension from anything really, unless something wrong. But his wife will get money for the kid. But if she doesn't, if they've never talked about how you go about that, it could be a pain in the ass,
Well, his wife's sister is married also to a American.
Oh, he'll probably get a little help. Get a lot.
Yeah, so
Probably.
he'll help her.
Oh, was
That
that the
dude,
guy he had a video with that one time?
Yeah, what?
He did a video of his brother-in-law, right, or his future brother-in-law. And
Oh yeah,
Did
he
he
did.
talk-
His brother-in-law, I think, was an ex-cop or something.
yeah, I think I remember seeing that one. So
Which
So
one?
he
I mean,
married-
the Filipino.
he married her sister. Huh? Okay.
He was married 4 times.
Well, yeah, he should be able to help her out, and trying to figure out
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
what to get
Yeah.
for their
Yeah.
child.
right, exactly. I heard that sometimes they
Of
can.
course, she won't get
get
anything
like
because,
two
right,
F-
Tony? The rules are you have to live here in the States 5 years, right, Tony, to qualify for
Yeah.
spousal social
Yeah,
security
yeah.
survivorship.
Yeah, she won't. Yeah, she won't.
The technical part of it, I guess there are ways you can, but it would be a hell of a freaking journey, I'd imagine. But
Yeah.
You'd spend more money in attorneys than
Listen,
what you
another
get.
thing is, he wasn't married to her long enough that she would get any of his pension if he had a pension.
Yeah, right. He had no pension, but what he did was Social Security. But you have to be married for 10 years, and 5 of those years have to be living in the United States to get his Social
Yeah.
Security.
Well, yeah, I knew. Well, I know that. Yeah. Oh, Jamie's got a picture. Jamie's got a picture. Countdown begins to baby Bruce. Dude's got like 4 kids. Jesus.
Oh, that's right. She's due in what, February, right?
Yeah. I hope it all works out for her, but it
Yeah.
has to. You know?
So that's all over the internet now because he was pretty well known. But he interviewed a lot of different people. So Mark Thornton.
Well, I'm still I have to schedule myself for my colonoscopy here, but
I'll tell you what, someone said that they had a beautiful place they were renting, right upstairs of that place. And someone said it was only $30K a month, which is pretty reasonable for that size.
Yeah, that's
that location, right?
Yeah, it was about $30K a month, exactly. But and he just bought a car.
I hope he didn't finance it.
where were they in Dumageddon?
Yeah, Dumageddon.
You know that Gio said he's getting the hell out of there. He goes, there's so many foreigners there now. He said it's ridiculous. The trash, everything is getting. Plus, I think he had a few issues with his new wife there. So,
well, if that's the case, Gary, I think her lifestyle is going to change dramatically now. So.
Oh yeah,
but the good thing is she knows how to live the other way, right? So.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Because he never bought any property or anything. He was just living,
Right.
on his Social Security and also YouTube channel.
Right. Well,
Listen,
that's what I would
listen,
do. I would just rent, you know. That's
listen. It-
what.
For a guy, for now, I mean, we all know the happy side of doing all that shit. When you only got Social Security, and you're going fuck it, But when you do that, if that's all you got, and you're thinking bigger, you're in for a hard freaking fall because it just doesn't work that way. He has what a kid. I mean, maybe they get the kind. It's based on his work record. How much he could. It's just it's just leaving somebody in a shitty situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if you got a plan and you have you got your shit in order, then that's at least something. But for anybody out there, don't go thinking you can go ahead, go there, and start banging young chicks and you know like when I hear people say, "I don't care, I won't be around." Well, you fucking do. You should care because my stuff is all set.
Another interesting thing lately is you ever watch uh, Paul Old Dog New Tricks?
Yeah, yeah,
He was
yes.
having a house built, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So were
And
many other people, huh?
exactly. He'd go
Or
and
so they thought.
now yeah, that's what they thought. And they found out that he didn't even get any licenses done at all. He wasn't even paying the workers out there. They hadn't been paid, and
And no
and
work had been
also
done, and he's a foreigner.
exactly that was his last thing that Paul said. I want to make this clear that this builder is a foreigner. He's not a Filipino.
Oh,
So
I wonder if it's that guy that Geo had a video on one time. American guy over there
uh,
making these real nice houses.
Yeah, Paul
this
Expensive.
likened
guy,
it to a
I don't think
Ponzi
I don't
scheme,
think
huh?
this guy made. I don't think this guy built any houses. He just took the money.
Well, his days are numbered. Then you doing that kind of shit.
Well, they
It's a
can't
thing
find
called
him now. They think he's in Cebu somewhere now.
it's a thing called karma, man. You're a white dude and you're in an Asian country. You'll get found.
Gary, if he was smart, he
And,
wouldn't be anywhere in that country.
yeah, right.
Period. Here's what I would take if that ever happened to me, and I wouldn't take an apology. I just take a baseball bat, club the fucker like a baby seal. That would make me feel better. But if I wouldn't have had if I would have had my wife's uncle be the builder, and then this other guy, knowing him, and they're all builders, I would have never done this. I would have got one in a gated community, which is they're overrated. I mean, the house is right next to each. It's like a future slum. They don't update the paint. You're right on top of each other. You got a basketball court, a swimming pool, you know. But other than that, I would have never done that.
Now, we got fortunate when I told you my wife's home that she grew up in was destroyed by a typhoon. So we decided to build a cement, hollow block with steel roof. It's only, I think it was 4 meters by 11 meters. So it was just on the property in town that they already had. But they found, my wife through friends, she knew people, and her aunt used to be the mayor or something. So she got some guy, and I think it was like 500 pesos a day, labor and everything. By himself, he built that house under
Wow.
roof, 4 meters by 11. I think we paid 2,500 US,
Oh, gee.
2,500 US.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I pick. I got two of them right now. I'll have one next week. 600 divided by
But
6.1.
it's like 100 yards off the water. So when
Dude.
there's a typhoon, you know, the winds
Here it costs the
hit
current
hard.
Philippine peso rate. I pay $10.69 a day for a skilled guy, for a skilled builder.
Because peso's almost 59 now, isn't it?
And I just remember 56. It kind of fluctuated to 57, and was flirting with 58.
Yeah, by the time they get their cut, it's probably 56 or 50.
Yeah, it took a. Oh, yeah, exactly. If it's 58, Western Union's going to offer you 56 or something. I mean, people got to make their money from something. You know what I mean?
Gary, how do you get your pesos? Do you just go to a ATM machine and get it?
Yeah, I go to the ATM at the bank.
You pay a fee, or are you with Charles?
Oh yeah,
Washington?
it's a limit of 10,000 pesos a transaction, and for every transaction, I have to pay 250 pesos.
Wow. How about per day? Is there a limit per day?
Well, the limit is only on.
There is a limit. I know.
The
what it
limit
is.
individual transaction.
the limit is my own company and where I'm taking the money out from.
Oh, okay. And what is their
That's,
limit? You know?
Yeah, I have Charles Schwab, you know, and I'm sure they're not happy about that because, you know, it's 250 pesos a transaction.
Right.
And you know, Charles Schwab, you get reimbursed at the end of the month.
Oh,
that
okay.
$4.35.
Don't they have a limit on the number of transactions though? 'Cause
Well, they just
they
have a
don't like
limit
paying that
per
fee.
day, limit per day of $1,000.
Listen,
Oh, okay.
the how the well, like Western Union is an example. They were. I think it's my son told me without him having to go through all this background checking and all this shit, it was $2,900 a day US before they got into it. I think it's $5,000 a day.
I think
The
it's
limit.
3K. Even in a bank here in the States, if you go in anything over 3K, they report it.
Yeah, well, to sidestep that shit, you put 2,900 and they don't do nothing.
Right.
2,900 a day. So that's how I was doing it the second time before I canceled that one, because this chick had an excuse every day as to why, you know, and then I'm like, fuck that, man. I mean, I said, you know what? I met with her one time. I was talking to her and I said, you know, when you want something, right, you're calling me all the time. I said,
Right.
but when I said, look, it doesn't work this way. But if I call you or send you a message on a Monday, you don't get back to me the following Monday or on a Friday. I said, you can't work like that in America, because she wants to go to America. I said, you'll get fired. You can't sell cars like that. As soon as somebody tells you they're interested, you're in their back pocket right away. You know, you don't go, oh, I was busy. Fuck that. Everybody's busy. You know, if you can't handle that kind of thing, give me somebody
Yeah,
else.
there's definitely a lack of urgency in all things.
Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, I bought the first excuse. The second one, my wife had left, you know, Dad ride the trike to go to the kid to school, and she says, "Well, would you mind taking, what do you call it here? You know, it's a pretty long ride for me from here. I just get down to the 4, you know, or the 8 or whatever it was. It goes up by west of Robinson's. You know, it's a Toyota dealer." I'm like, you know what? Fuck this, man. I just said, I sent her a message later on. I said, I ain't buying no car no more. Oh, what's the matter? No, I'm going to get hurt. You know, this is going to cost me. Well, you know, me and my manager can come out and pick you up. I'm thinking, why didn't you say that? I didn't say it to her. I thought, why didn't you say that to me before?
Right.
Before, when I didn't have a ride and you couldn't pick me up.
Is this when you were looking for a vehicle?
No, I was gonna buy one.
Yeah.
I was gonna buy a second car, a small one, because I can't take that truck above 40.
They should have told you, hey, come out and or just go out and get a taxi. When you get here, we'll pay the fare, whatever it is. If they really
You know
want
what?
to sell you one.
You're the sales. You're gonna get. The point is, later on that day, she offered for the new car manager and her to come up and pick me up. You couldn't have told me that the first thing right away. You know, fuck that. I said, forget it. I told my son he had made 3 withdrawals. I said, put it back. You know, two of them, it took a little bit because they were processed.
Wait, this
But I
was
said-
in the States.
Oh, here.
Oh, you
Here.
said you told your son.
My son's on Western Union. That they
Oh, okay.
they screwed me around. So they kept hanging up on me because I made a mistake when I came over here. They said they sent me a message. This is before I knew anything about them. And they said we detect your phones in the Philippines. I said, so what? Well, I can't go nowhere. I said, I'll be here about 6 months. I sent. Then all of a sudden they started rejecting my transactions. I said, why did you put 50? I said, I've been sending the same thing, $500 forever. And well, why did you try sending the 50 and 100? Because I thought it would work, and nobody offered any explanation or assistance on
Right.
how things work. All they were interested in was cutting me off. So I thought, fuck you, man. So I got my son, and they Western Union, because his middle name is my first name. Western Union, they called up. They sent me a message, an email. Oh, we hope you were pleased with your transaction. I didn't respond to it. I thought, dumbasses. I tried telling you this is who I am, you fucking idiots.
So Gary, does Charles Schwab have a limit on how many of those transactions you can make a month? Like, they don't like paying that 250 pesos every time, right?
Yeah, they haven't expressed that. No, they're just limited by $1,000 a day.
A day. Okay.
It's $4
So
and
now I can only take out 10,000. Now I don't usually take out more than I think my bank has a limit though also of for taking out like 50,000. I think they have a limit of 50,000 for this Philippine bank. So I usually take out 4 times.
That's in
10,000.
one day you're talking?
Yeah, one day. So I'll go to the ATM and I'll just take out 10,000, and then if there's nobody around, I'll do another 10, and then I'll do another 10.
It just
And
amazed me,
I'll
like
do
those
another 10.
because you
rare
don't want to
occasions.
you don't want to walk around and say I give my wife $1,300 a month, okay? You don't want to walk around with all that money in your freaking pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the bank though is only about 5 minutes walk from where I live.
But
So,
Tony, how difficult was it, like when you were building the house and getting materials and even buying your vehicle? What's the limit on the amount of cash you can transfer Western Union? Or you said you had to go in like daily and get the maximum to
I just
pay for
explained.
things on your house and things like that?
I'll explain the thing again. Well, I got questioned from because they were getting pissed when I was going to get money every day. They're going, "Oh, that's enough." So they asked me, "Where are you getting all this money from?" I said, "Well, I was getting like $1,000 a day." And they said, "Where are you getting all this money from?" I said, "Well, I'm retired. I'm building a house." Well, they can have this whole sheet made up and have the total cost. I said, "Fuck that! You're getting some guys that are working under the table shit, man. You don't import this shit to the government. Are you kidding me?" So they were letting me take. I think it was $5,000 a day. You could, but if my son would have sent $5,000 to me a day, either me or my wife, then you have to go through all of this. The bank back in America makes
So
you
that's
go
why
through
you
all-
limit it to 2,900, right?
Yeah, if you limit it, if you go down below the $3,000 or $5,000, I just picked the number. It didn't have to be 5. It could have been,
Right.
but my son says if I send 29, then they won't bother you. But if I send 3,000 or more, then they'll
Right.
I have
They
to go
will.
through all this. Yeah, he's not hip to that because he don't like it, having to do any more than he really has to, you know.
Right.
But I just helped them out with the because during their wedding they had the video I sent you. All this stuff cost them some bucks, so they had it on high interest credit cards, you know. So they borrowed money from me so they could, you know. I said, look, man, you know what? I told him. I offered him two pieces of advice. I said, I said that we all change, our bodies, our hair, all of that as we get older. Most of us, you know. I said, you can't keep sitting there going, well, she ain't that attractive, she ain't this, that. I said, we all change. So he kind of opened his mind up to do other, you know. So he did, you know, and then he married her. She's a great young lady, you know.
Yeah.
So he married her, and all the time he used to stop by my house. I said, hey, do some 401k, increase that. Well, I got student loans. I said, look, you don't want to work till you're freaking my age, do you? I said, pick an age, 50, 55, and then and stick to it no matter what. That's what you got to live on. Because he told me one day, he said, oh, I'm starting to do this and that. I said, why are you doing that? Well, because I don't want to have to work till I'm 55. I said, geez, man, you know, a little gratitude here show me, because I offered you sound advice twice, and you took it.
Yeah. Our
Now you-
daughter just started her job out of college, and first thing she did was my older daughter got her in a 401k, you know, or retirement thing. Told her start socking the money away now. You're 22, you know, start putting the money away now.
The difference between it now and when I started one in the factory, because I was at 1%, I went to 6, and I was like, holy shit, man. You know, as you in today's world, you're at the mercy of the world economy. You know, it all work together now.
Yeah, I only
know?
put 5% in because that's what they matched up to, but that's all I could afford at the time, or so I thought. So
Something, man,
it
something's
worked
better.
out okay.
Yeah, you know, you put it away. I mean, look at this. I got my house here in a car. I don't, you know, my younger sister's going, oh man, you know, you got money from your ex-husband. You know, you didn't get money from.
Wait, I worked it out now. I get a disbursement until I'm like 73, and then that'll stop. But that's just the 401k. You know, the pension goes the rest of your life, and
Hey,
for the Social
I did-
Security. So
my dad didn't know shit about finances, but I'd always do this and forget about it. Put it in there, don't even look at it. And I did it. That's what I did. And you don't want to look when you know what during that downturn there was at 2012 or 2008. I forget which one. Yeah, so you know, during that thing, got some guys I knew had pension from another Pabst brewery. And
yeah, there were
lost
times, you know, when
You
I
lost
worked, I looked at it every day, and you know that bad time. There were days when I lost $3,000 in one day. You know, I'm thinking, wow,
8,000.
that's
You
gonna
lost
hurt.
8,000. See these programs you put it into. There's a risk in a medium and
Right.
one that's
There's high
above,
risk. There's like international stocks all the way down to
One-
government secured bonds. You know,
one that's
And-
just above the whatever the bank interest rate is. You get a 90-day CD, just keep renewing it.
Well, no, CDs don't pay anything, but the
No, they don't. They don't.
government
They-
secured bonds is what every retirement person, they say if you're within 5 years of retiring, put it all into the secure part because
My,
you can't afford to be losing big chunks, you know,
my uncle,
in the
well,
5
well,
years before you retire.
my uncle with all this stuff going on, my dad's youngest sister's husband, he took it out of the regular stock market because they're supposed to pull it out when the shit's going bad, but a lot of times they don't get it out fast enough. That's why you have like three
Right.
different levels.
Well,
But,
you don't know
he-
it's going bad till it starts to go
he
bad,
put-
you know.
Yeah, well, he put his in a I don't know if it was a 6 month or 90 days, just kept renewing him CD. His money's gonna be right there. It ain't going nowhere. He ain't losing, he ain't losing 10,000. So you make a minor a bit, but I'm talking seniors here. But your money is safe. Well, it's supposed to be. Where get all these freaking? So what's up with you, Gary? You get married or what? Or no?
Well, I'm gonna return to the U.S. next year.
Yeah.
For about 30 days in July. We finally came down to what we for our budget to what we're going to live on here.
Yeah.
We're doing. Let's see. We're living on 35,000 pesos a month.
$35,000, huh? Ooh.
Yeah, that's 3 people too.
Three.
Yeah, it's
You
3 of
girl?
us. Huh?
You got her mother?
No, she has her sister going to college here. So
Oh,
she lives with us, and but her term ended now for the semester, so she's back home. A friend of mine, Kiko, a friend of mine's daughter just graduated December from Pittsburgh University.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he sent me graduation.
my cousin went there. Some kind of
What
art.
was, you know what her major was? What was her course of study?
Something in the health field
Oh, yeah.
because she wants to. He's said she's going to go on for a master's for hospital administration and MBA, two majors.
Yeah, my daughter, I think it was last weekend, she went, a couple of her classmates, my daughter graduated in 3 years instead of 4. So a lot of her
Wow.
former classmates a couple of them graduated, one semester early, which was last weekend. And
Yeah, exactly right.
her one good friend is of Indian descent. Her parents are from India, but she got a good job too. So that was all in computer science, but
Listen,
Now this girl is Indian, and her mother is a medical doctor, and her mother's mother and father are both medical doctors in India, but they have since died. Her brother's a medical doctor, her sister's a medical doctor, and they're both married to medical doctors.
that, the only way to get into family is to have your MD degree, right?
Exactly. But my friend is not a medical doctor. He's has his master in electrical
Sure.
engineering.
there's a good plus to this. My daughter went. I don't know why she took it. She went back and got a master's in social work. But I had a girlfriend that worked in nursing homes. She was a social worker. The problem with those nursing homes is they have their administrators a lot of times are people with master's degrees that are young, and they have no, they don't have a shitload of years of experience. You know what I mean? That like
Right.
she had. So that could be a difficulty when you're trying to, you know what it is it needs to be done because you've done it. And somebody that
Well,
just kind of they skip
that's
that.
like, my brother also, he was in the government, and he started out from college at GS5, and he retired in 2009 with as a GS15 with 40 years government.
Is that the one in Texas?
Yeah.
The one you went to visit?
Yeah, I'll visit him when I go back.
Yeah, I had
You
just under 38 when I retired. My birthday.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah.
I didn't quite, I'm not quite as high as he got, but I was pretty close.
Well, he was 13 for a long time. He had to move to Texas to get that 14.
Yeah, you got to move if you want to get promoted. I wasn't one of
Yeah.
those guys trying to climb the ladder. I did my job and
Yeah.
I didn't go seeking the higher promotion because you got to get into supervision at that point. And
Well, like,
the last thing you want to do is supervise government workers. I didn't want to do that.
but it was good though that he stayed in the same. He was in Food and Drug Administration for the whole 40 years. See, so he started out as a GS5. He worked his way. He knew everything about how to do everybody's job.
I basically I got as high as I could as a technical person without going into management. So, and I wanted to stay a technical person, not a paper pusher. So,
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
was rather
my ex-girlfriend's daughter, she went in. She got her master's from the University of Maryland in fire protection engineering, and she went in the government. She's a patent examiner.
patent examiner.
Yeah, that's they look at people submit patents and things. She works for
No,
them.
that's interesting.
But it's a
Very
lot of stress in that job.
I bet you're passing judgment on what is and what should be and what shouldn't be.
And then if you do turn it down, then you have to meet with the lawyers of the person that invented it and tell them why you turned it down.
Well, let me tell you, I think they got when they get one. I think they got a 10-year patent or whatever. I forget what. But after that, then it's wide open. Then everybody can, to copy that shit. But what that does is protect you and it helps you make your money.
We've all lived long enough to where we see new stuff now, and we're thinking, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, right.
Stuff that was a pain our whole life doing. A simple task, and then someone invented something real stupid and had it made in China, and they made a killing off it. With all our experience, we're thinking, wow, why didn't I think of that?
One guy, that Mr. Wonderful guy on Shark Tank, he's like, you know what? He said, I'm all for those heavy tariffs because he said, why should we send something, send it to China and have it made, and then have to buy it back?
I like that. I like that Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, me too. But
Tony, you remember using box end wrenches, right?
Yeah.
And someone comes up with this theory. Hey, why don't we make it a ratcheted box end wrench?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, why didn't I think of that? Because all the time, remember back in the day when you had to use a box end wrench and you had to take it off and then turn.
Yeah.
And now they got these ratcheted box end wrenches. You're thinking, oh man. where were you back in the day? You know, when I needed.
Most people's toolboxes, we used to call it the junk drawer. We had a drawer at one of the houses where
Right.
you throw
Right. In the
whatever
kitchen
tool.
where you threw everything.
Yeah, so majority of tools that was needed were a screwdriver,
A
a
hammer.
needle nose pliers, and a crescent wrench.
And duct tape.
Yeah, did everything, you know. Well, it won't round the corners off if you take your time, but you get kind of fed up with
Even
going
like,
through it.
even not like, remember nut drivers? We didn't even, nut drivers weren't common.
My feeling was, why is this? I get the crescent wrench adjusted once. Why do I keep having to fuck around with it?
Yeah.
Both got
And
four
then,
sides.
And then those swivel sockets, you know?
Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff now, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
I used to think with some of the engines, I used to think, how the fuck are you supposed to get to this thing?
Right. How do you get to that?
But then you get that angle one, and if it has anything like on a manifold, anything to do with heat, well, man, son of a bitch. I had
I didn't
something
even, back in the day, I never even had deep well sockets, you know? It was always
No.
just the standard sockets, you know?
Oh, we
And
get them a little.
another thing they came out with was the I have this tool. It's like a handle, but I've got all breakdowns from all sizes, you know, from like 3/8 all the way up to, you know, an inch of these sockets where you put in the ratchet, you know. So you put the socket inside the ratchet in one. So it has a hole in the middle. So like if you're going down a lengthy bolt, right, to get to this nut, you just put it over top of it, slide it all the way down. You got a ratcheting, you know. I'm like, man, where was that back in the day?
Yeah.
You know
How
many knuckles we busted trying to get
Yeah. How'd you like when I'd say, damn, you need a socket to get that spark plug out. Why is it fucking, how come mine don't work? They're not long enough. Well, all the time you saw a long one before that, you go, why is this so long? What do you need this shit
Right.
for? But when I was taking off, I was trying to take off my I had a flange clean. That was asbestos donut, you know. There was a leak in the exhaust manifold in my 71. And I think everything was like 3/8 was standard and 2/16. And I'm going, damn, everything's round in this fucking thing. Well, they were metric. Nobody told me that. What were these bolts on this 1971 car? Why all of a sudden they're metric here for the?
Back in the day, I don't remember ever having that spray called PB Blaster. You know, the stuff going loosen up the nuts, the rusty ones.
Oh yeah,
come right off. We never had that spray back in the day. You know.
Yeah, we had that. Well, we didn't have that back then, but a guy from work when I had my 72 Monte Carlo. And whoever had it just like a jerry rigged everything. They raced it, but everything was chintzy, you know. And one of the bolts broke, and it was in the block, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I thought, fuck, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. No, what am I gonna do now? Right.
Well, he comes over and he goes, I forget what it was, but he goes, you take that kit that you can make a thread with, you can rethread it,
right,
at a bigger size. I forget what that's called, but
tap and die.
Yeah,
it's not called that. It's called, I forget what, but it's like a giant spring, metal wound, just like a thread. But he came over and I didn't want to go that route because that's a lot of fucking around, man. You got to retap that shit, and if you're not,
was the bolt broke off inside it?
Yeah. So, but the thing is, if you drill,
go ahead.
If you have to drill it out, then you're gonna fuck. You need to do a helicoil. That's what it was. Right. So I sprayed some. When I worked, we had the LPS was a greaseless lubricant. We went through that shit like you wouldn't believe, man. In a freaking week, you know. Go to the tool crib all the time. They had to stock this shit in its own room. But I sprayed some of that stuff in there, and then there was a bit of an edge. And so the next day I went out there and it gave it time to work. You know, it gave it time to work its way through, and it worked. It spun out real easy.
Oh, you put
Because-
like a vice grip on it and turned it out, or what?
No, I just get a little screwdriver and tapped it. You know, maybe a pocket pen, a pocket screwdriver, real easy, or the
Oh,
narrowest
so the
one.
bolt wasn't broken off inside the hole. There was still some sticking out.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what you're
Well,
saying?
it was broken in there, and it was down. It wasn't down that far, because
Oh,
usually when
okay.
a bolt, when you break it from the top, it's usually not that deep. So because people got this thing about torque and shit for something.
But they have now, thanks
Oh
to
yeah, they
YouTube,
torque it too much.
they have these. If a bolt's broken off inside the hole, you drill a hole in the middle of it,
Yeah,
and then they have
yeah,
these
no, that,
reverse drill bits where you
yeah.
put your drill in reverse and you turn it out that way, and,
I'm
and
like,
that
well-
saves the threads if possible.
Well, I didn't want to even get close to that because you got to be, man. Don't have a shaky hand.
Right, right.
You know,
If it's in
if
the
you-
engine, that limits the workspace too. I mean, if
Yeah,
the
man,
engine's in the vehicle, yeah.
it's just I wasn't thrilled about having to make a whole new fucking, like, having an oversized bolt there,
Right.
and having to go, and if I don't do it right, I mean 100% right, then I'm
What
fucked.
was this? This was probably on an exhaust manifold, right?
Yeah, that one, there was
Yeah.
one in the block with a mounted bracket, I think either for the alternator or some other.
Right.
It had all kind. I mean,
You know,
What?
you're talking about these long-handled tools that can get deep into the engines and things. What bothered me is when you're trying to get something that's really deep in the engine, you can finally reach your arm all the way down in there, but then you can't operate your fingers that well, you know?
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you can't
you know,
turn it. You don't have enough room with your fingers to turn a nut
Yeah,
or
right. You
something
can't.
to even get it
It-
started. And then once you
Exactly.
get it off, then you drop it further down in the engine where you
Well,
can't get to it. That's why I
these
bought a
guys that-
magnet, one of those long
these-
pen magnets where you can reach in,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
pick up stuff
my-
that you drop.
my Stanley screwdrivers here I got at Ace Hardware, they're magnetic. I could go.
Magnetic.
Yeah, I mean it's a lifesaver. You know, I mean, Jesus, it'll give you
That's
a few less
another
hair.
thing. Back when we were young, I don't ever remember having a magnetic screwdriver. Do you?
No,
I mean, they might have been around, but I sure didn't have one.
listen, some guy that owned my house before left some tools behind. Oh no, I got them from when my girlfriend's mom died. So her stepfather died a long time ago. So I got all these tools, and he made one up to be like
Magnetic.
no, it wasn't magnetic, but it was just angled. He had it angled such way that I could get to the
Oh.
back spark plug against the firewall with those monster heads on that. God, I forget whose racing heads those were, but it was so easy like that. Because otherwise, you get in there and you got not a swivel, but you got that where you can lay on a side. You don't get the same torque, but when you got a socket on there and you're going, okay, your drive it's not that long of one. It just, well, it could be any length, but it would allow you it gave you a little room and almost never would give you that full click. And you're always trying to find that one spot where you can get that click. So and you got to do that all fucking day just for, because when you see what it is, you go, Jesus, this is embarrassing.
I just
But-
recently replaced the doorknob on the bedroom door. I never replaced doorknobs before. It's the first experience. And
Dude, Gary,
yeah,
in the
replaced it. Go ahead.
in the first house I ever had, all my life, I would subconsciously I look at it and go, man, what's that involved? How did that? I never had to do it till all of a sudden I had my first house, and I go, fuck, there's nothing to this, man. All these years I thought it was a complicated issue.
I know,
Yeah.
And
I
it's-
know. It's very, I could do more of them now. You know, I bought the doorknob with the keys. You know, at the hardware store here, only 280 pesos
For
for,
what?
for the doorknob.
Oh, you're gonna feel that.
It's like when I do stuff or I change the brakes on the car or put a new belt
Oh,
on it, or the kids are like, "Well, how do you know how to do that?" I said, "Necessity." I
Yeah,
said, I
right.
got tired of paying people, and now with YouTube videos, I mean, you can go search for anything. You can watch a YouTube
Yeah,
video. I fixed.
Well, it took
I would have
me-
never worked on my own furnace before, but I did.
I don't have
You know.
I don't have to
Yeah.
ask my hot-tempered father how to do it, and when he's in a pissed off mood, I can
I mean,
watch a video.
I think last year in the winter, my gas furnace went out. Right, wouldn't kick on. The thermostat you'd hear the thermostat click. It was calling for it to
Change it.
turn on, but it wouldn't turn on. So I called. I called the heating place. I said I know that the control of the motherboard's bad. But as a civilian, you can't order one of those. You have to be like with the tech company, have an account to order this motherboard for a furnace.
Hmm.
You'd think you
Hmm.
could go on Amazon or something and order it, but you can't. You gotta, anyways, I told him, I said, I know it's the motherboard, so can you come out here, verify, and just put one on order? Because if I could have ordered it myself, I would have, but I didn't.
Yeah,
But I knew it was
That's
the
what it-
motherboard.
that's
And
what it
that's
was.
all from watching YouTube videos,
yeah.
And
The most
That's what-
embarrassing,
I
not
wish we would have
embarrassing.
had those when we were young.
Here's
I
how I
know.
learned. Here's how I learned about all these years. You'd see when they went over to the where they had the pipes through the side of the house, where one went in, one went out, one sucked in the air, the other one it discharged it. And I used to think, well, this shit's pretty complicated, So I moved into my first house on my own after I was divorced, and all of a sudden, well, I'm getting ready to watch Super Bowl. Fucking thing, I just hear this click, and get to the certain click, and I'm thinking they told me when I bought it, it was it didn't exist anymore. The manufacturer, that the way it was built, there were no parts for it. None of that shit.
Yeah, it's obsolete, they say.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have the all night here just clicking. I left it on. What a monstrous fucking bill I got for that electric, So I go to the ex-wife, I watched the game there. I said, we'll deal with this tomorrow. Had the guy come out. I think I paid $22,400 for a new one, which was according to one of my workmates, was a lot, but I didn't give a shit because I had no money.
For a new what?
So, furnace.
Furnace.
Yeah, 19. I got that put in there like 2000.
Oh, the entire furnace, because the part you would have needed was obsolete. You couldn't
Yeah.
use it, right? Okay.
Yeah, but so the guy, I didn't want to fuck with it anyways, Well, we could do that, but it would take, I don't know. Forget it. So he's telling me the story of the previous owners. Yeah, I told him that if it ever took a shit, they'd have to get a new one because they don't make these parts no more. I guess there are some stores that got buku fucking everything still,
Yeah.
But so I'm listening to him talk, and he's saying that what happened was, he says, yeah, I moved the exhaust pipes up further because they were too close to the ground. I thought to myself, hey, look, it was too close to the ground, and the snow was there. I didn't move the snow away because I didn't know I had to. So
Right,
the moisture in the
Yeah,
air,
it has
Form-
a safety cutoff.
it blocked it. It was like a fucking ice cube. And I go, son of a bitch, man! I just spent I think it was 3,000. I said, fuck, no wonder that thing would work because
I had that. because my exhaust on the roof of my place, we had like a 2 feet of snow. It was a rare snow, but the exhaust only went up about a foot, or not even a foot off the roof, right? Well, snow had built up around that, and there's a safety feature in the furnace. If there's a blockage for the exhaust,
Yeah.
it won't fire up. So I thought I had a problem with my furnace. When the guy came out and he said, "Let's try something," and there we got a long rake or something, you know, and moved the snow out from around it, and it kicked right on. So,
Oh.
you know,
I had no idea, man, because I had never faced that issue before. I never had
Yeah.
to. And I thought,
it's like
well,
most
okay.
of us of our age, you know, we never, like I never did mechanical work on vehicles till I was like in the military, and there was a hobby shop, right? And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
I had
happened to
those.
have a buddy who worked on cars, and he showed me a few things, you know. But up to that point, I never even changed the oil on a vehicle, and I was like
Never
22
dawned
years
on me.
old. You know,
It never dawned on me to go outside and look at that.
yeah, me neither.
And when I did, I thought, well, I
You
just
said
learned
yours was
less.
on the ground though.
No, mine was closer to the ground. It wasn't. It was
But-
only.
Was your furnace in the basement?
Yeah, it was in the basement.
Okay, so your exhaust is just up off the ground.
Right.
Mine was
Well,
out off of my roof of my house. So
yeah, mine was the original one because they moved them. They moved them both up, and the first one was only it's 6 inches maybe. More
so
than 8?
actually, you didn't, for that $2,900. You didn't need to do that. All you needed to do was clear the snow.
Yeah. Well, I would eventually have had to have one, but when
Right.
I don't know.
How long did
So-
you end
so-
up living in that house?
2006 to 2014.
Oh, so 8 years worth.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I paid more because it was a local company. I didn't know what the fucking you know what I mean? I don't.
Right.
Dad never owned a house. I never, just you felt like a fucking moron after you find out what it is.
Right.
But then lesson learned, man. You know what I mean? You help somebody else
Right.
down the road. First thing you
Right.
look at,
That's one of the main ways we learn from experience, you know?
I would take the ice cubes. I would have that in my mind all the time. So every once in a while, I'd go out there and knock off the icicles that form.
That's like I had this dude call me at work one time. He was working on a similar system in another state. And he's like, "Man, I got this issue." He said, I don't know why. He said, "It's not responding to anything." I said, "Hey, go over and look at that little switch that says local or remote." I said, "What position's it in?" He said, "Local." I said, "Okay, switch it to remote and see how." And he's like, "Oh man, how did you know that?" I
You
said,
thought so.
"Because." I said, "You got a 50-50 chance, right? You got something in local control or remote control, right?" So
Well, that's not
he was all impressed, you know. He's like, "Wow." I was like, "Man, that's common sense." You know? I said, "That's the first thing you look at."
He was racking his brain about the first selection too much.
But
Yeah,
common
what-
sense isn't too common, I guess. You know.
Well,
No.
I just used that YouTube channel today when I was
When
I
you're
was
fixing the
downloading
doorknob,
I was downloading a print driver
huh?
for my printer,
Yep.
and I watched on YouTube and
And it worked.
followed along, and it worked now.
I got locked in the room here earlier in the week because there's a slide. You got that bolt. It just when it's new, you got that bolt. You put it in there. It's all the guts are there. You just put the doorknobs through each side, and you go. Well, that sliding part broke. You know, the bolt was in. The bolt was in. It wouldn't move, obviously. So the guy that worked in here, the carpenter guy, he came in here and he had to take like a kind of like a chisel. I don't even know if they have one in this country, but
Remember back in the old days when
by the strike plate, he took it and notched it. Took that out, and then we could get in with a screwdriver and push the bolt back and get out. So when he put the new one in, when he put the new strike plate on there, you can't even see. You'd have to look really hard to see where he notched it ever so slightly that you could get in.
You remember back in the day when we were young and the old folks had these keys for a lock. Remember, Gary, these keys that were, what did they call them? I mean, it was a real, it was a long key that went in the doors. Remember
Oh, a
the real old
skeleton
doors?
key. A
Yeah,
skeleton key.
Skeleton. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You're thinking, how did that work? There can't be too many variations of that. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
like
Right.
one key should probably work on a lot of different, locks.
Yeah, how do you fix that notch and keep it like in a different part of the world you send the same
Yeah,
lock, you know.
skeleton keys. That's what they were called.
The reason I changed out the knob here is because this door can be locked in the bedroom here, and I didn't have a key for it, so I didn't want to be locked out of my bedroom,
Right.
So I changed it out. But now I found out that key also can open the bathroom door downstairs, and that's a different. So I'm wondering, the same, it's like how many other doors can this key open?
Yeah.
Well, it might,
lot-
Gary, it might have been where you got a master key and a door set. That master key fixed that.
Yeah, maybe.
It
So.
could, you know what I mean? By chance, it could have been the same key cylinder. That's where you get. I used to work at Master Lock. We never had a problem with those though.
Well, the front door key for the rental here opens the door handle and also for the deadbolt, and it also opens the second bedroom upstairs.
Oh man, you need a little. You got no privacy, man. Lock don't provide you shit when everybody knows.
Hey, I'm wondering if I can buy at the hardware store here door stops. These little rubber door stops.
Yeah, you know what? I just had that in mind. They got Ace Hardware, and they got some other one. I forget. But anyway, there's some American hardware stores. They're in the malls usually.
There's a handyman. There's a hardware store called Handyman.
Yeah, we
at
have those in
Robinson
America.
Mall.
Yeah, we have them.
So
Just
got-
get some dude on the street to cut a piece of wood.
You know,
You know,
yeah,
like
what you gotta
triangle,
do?
Yeah.
You know what you gotta
for like 50 pesos. So he'll make 2 or 3 of them for you. Just
You
out
have
of
a
a piece
phone.
of wood.
Well,
Cut a triangle.
You have a phone. You have a phone that take iPhone. You take a picture of something that you're going to buy because a lot of times they got a different name for it. And if they don't hear the name that they call it, they're gonna go, "Sorry, sir, out of stock."
Sorry, out of stock.
I had 10. I wrote down 10 my thoughts before I came to the Philippines, and from watching videos and things like that, that have kind of proved wrong. Now that I've been here, like common colds, a common cold. I didn't think that you could catch a common cold very easily here in the Philippines
And you
because the
can.
weather is hot.
Shit.
You know,
I got one right now, Gary. And it's a mother effort because it's so freaking
I
hot
think-
here.
I think the reason is because we sweat so much. We come in to the house and then we don't change our clothes into something dry, and we put the fan on. Now we're chilled.
Yeah, that's one way. You know, it's another
Yeah.
way. Because we should be used to it by now, almost, Gary. Is that people rarely ever cover their mouth here when they cough. They just cough right in the open.
I don't know.
I had a lady.
Yeah.
I had a lady doing that bus. A black lady do that to me on the bus once. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even turn my face. I went, I'm going to be sick in about 2 days. Sure enough.
Sure,
That's what they do.
well,
here.
let
I-
me tell you my second one. I was thinking in this area, there would be a massive number of motorbikes. I'm seeing more cars than motorbikes,
Are you?
more vehicles, four-wheel trucks, cars.
Yeah, you must be in the right area for that. We
I
only
don't see a
got,
lot of motorbikes.
you'd be hard pressed to find a jeepney in this area.
Oh, we
Well,
have
you
so many we have so many jeepneys. They come along. I have never ridden in a jeepney yet, but
When I
they
went,
come along a lot.
I mean,
Yeah,
are they
they're-
the old fashioned ones though? The original
it's a
jeepneys,
trip carrier.
not the little multi-cab ones.
No, that's the real deal,
the
man.
old original Jeeps, right?
Yeah, yeah. Things like
Those are
8
going
years old.
away slowly but surely.
My girlfriend told me that I could probably just, if there's nobody in a seat beside the driver, I can get in that seat.
Yeah. There's some, but most of them let you, some don't. I sat in the
Because
front of the jeepney once.
because it's very awkward. They have a bench seat. Everybody's knees, legs are right in the middle there, and my legs are real long, and
When you're on the small, when you're on that small, what the hell's the name of them? Not they like to attach the little
Yeah.
a
they're
little
smaller
van.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the jeepneys are they give you ample room to get up and move around, everything. When you're on that utility one,
Yeah.
it's like what the.
Just be like one of those people that stands on the back bumper, Gary, while it's going down the road.
Yeah, I was in a jeepney in Naga where it got stopped and given a ticket because of
For
people.
what? Standing on the back bumper?
No, for being on top of it.
Oh wow.
I've seen that in top.
The cop says, "What do you think you are in India?"
Yeah. Well, I saw one like that in Tacloban on the way back. That's why I remembered that name. It was real catchy. And I remember seeing this old white guy. I don't know what country he was from, but it was morning time, and the young lady at like a newspaper stand kind of thing like that with coffee or whatever. And I remember that because that was the year that, like a couple months later, it had that nasty, devastating typhoon there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was that? Well, there were a lot of American press over there because what was happening was a lot of these care packages would be reboxed with the Philippine
Yeah.
government. But aside from that, that's trivial. But I remember that name, and I remember seeing a jeepney with all these people on top, like 20 people on that fucking thing. I'm like, holy cow! Man.
Well,
I bought.
that was my second one. Now another one was this. I heard that the people are overly friendly. Well, I find that they're just like the U.S.
I'm sure they are. Just like.
Just pass them, they pass you.
You know what? What got on my nerves when we rode the bus, the ferry thing. It's the same company owns it, shit, and nobody puts their bags underneath them buses because people steal this shit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they put it in. Everything's in the aisle. And that was 2013 when my back wasn't shit yet, and the guy. You're trying to. It's like trying to sidestep a mine, And one guy, apparently I stepped on his bag or whatever. He goes, "Watch where you're walking." I just looked back and thought, "What are you talking about, man? Shit shouldn't even be in the aisle."
Where
Really
was this at,
badass.
Tony?
Well, on the bus that we took back on the way back from Naga, when we went up there by our aunties. Their families from up there, and there was all kinds of luggage in them. They put it right in the middle of the floor. So you got
Who
to
told you that?
sidestep.
A Peni?
Yeah, but I didn't want to make no waves because when I first saw it, I thought, "What the fuck you think, man?" You want to get up? Fuck it. You're not. I didn't want to get in. Nothing ends well like that. If it's one of those stories. It's one of those situations where. You probably could, but where's it gonna get you, man?
you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I think the harm is more the fucking
I
fight
had
is worse.
some stuff uh, in my bag stolen when I was in Korea because I was on a bus and I had it on the top rack, but it was a little bit behind my head
Mhm.
rather than in front where I could watch the bag. You know,
Huh?
it was a little bit behind on the rack above me.
It didn't fall down, did it?
Didn't fall down, but somebody got in right in my bag and they stole something.
Yeah, that's what they do on buses. One mistake we made on the way there was riding a non-aircon bus, which fuck that, I'll never do that again. And where it's raining out, so this guy, you know, you got a 20 km/h turn. This guy's going 40. I mean, what the, you know, just to get to the port where we would wait for 5 hours for the freaking boat, you know, it was ridiculous. Like everybody's going, what are you in a hurry for? You know, then we would sit there and wait. Anyway,
Well,
you know, they're playing these movies. They're not even B movies. They're beyond that. You know, all of it. It like has no bass. The sound has no bass. All treble. It's all cranked up. And I find it really hard to sleep in strange places. But I was so tired on that bus, I finally started to sleep. You know, and all of a sudden this little fat kid opens the window in front of me and fucking rain comes blowing in, and you know, and I got woken up out of sound sleep, and I went, what the fuck? And the guy came and got his kid. I went, and I was never able to fall asleep again until we got there. Got the
you know,
Hmm.
I've never taken a jeepney yet. I've taken a lot
they're
of
all right.
trikes. When
They're
is
all right.
I wonder when that is. This the last month of the rainy season because we've been having like 3 days of constant rain.
Well, us too every day. I think it is, Gary.
It's
I mean,
making
nothing
up
said.
for all the other
Yeah,
months
nothing.
that we were supposed to have rain a lot.
You look up in the sky though. Today it rained a couple times, some dark stuff, but it moves.
Our
Yeah.
whole
Sometimes,
sky is just a big gray sky cloud. You know.
you're just waiting for the heavens to open up. Then when it's like that,
Yeah.
triggered.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
they've been working all day here with that kind of situation.
Mm.
That's why they buy the cheap plywood. They put that above their heads.
Oh wow. Well, here's my number 4. It's not easy to learn Filipino in this country,
Bisaya, no, it isn't. I
or
got
even Messiah, because when you say something, when you pass, they're expecting you to speak English, so they're not
yeah.
listening for you to say anything else. Yeah.
Well, here's what happened to me when I had my truck washed the other day. It was in need of because it had concrete dust on it. So I'm in there, and there's a guy there, Filipino guy. He's got that Toyota, had a nice looking orange color a few years back. And I said, yeah, that's a nice color. He's like, where you from? The U.S. Do you know any? Do you speak Bisaya? I said, no. He goes, do you know any words? I said, no. And he got all like he was all pissed off. You've been there 2 years? Yeah, but you don't know. I thought, dude, I don't want to run this shit down and tell you I had fucking brain trauma and shit. And, you know, and I'm lucky I'm able to speak with English here, and that's not always perfect. Sometimes I stutter. You know, I haven't done that a lot lately, but you know, I wanted to tell the guy, well, you know what, but anyway, I don't want to tell everybody my shit. You know, I do know a few words, but then he would have grilled me on that, and I don't you know,
Exactly.
well, if there's going to be a test, I had no time to study. Otherwise, you know,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I would have said, yeah, I know what bisang is, and I know what yeah, I know one line in Tagalog. What is that? Gusto mo bang makita ang titi ko?
Yeah.
No, what's his name? Kiko might know what that is. But it's the only word. It's the only sentence I could pronounce. I learned that from a few of the Tagalog Filipinos I used to talk to on Facebook.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah, I hear you now.
What that means is, what that is saying
Yeah,
is, do you
no,
want to suck
that's
my
just
dick?
that's a bad sentence. Yeah.
It's- So I always say,
Say-
gusto mo?
Say it again, Kiko. What you said?
I said, no, that's not a sentence you want to say to anybody anyway. So.
You got your earbuds in there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay.
Let's get a
No,
regular
I've got
headset.
My wife's headset, Bluetooth, while my
It's a little,
earpods are
it's a little low though.
Okay, well, sorry.
Say something about your birthday?
No.
No, he said it was his wife's headset.
Oh, his wife said so.
Correct.
Well, I can just say like Kajiji Singh Kolang.
I don't even know what the fuck I ain't even gonna try.
I just woke up.
You know, I would see. I was sitting here looking out the window and thinking, you know, I had a couple of moments of thinking clearly and just seeing stuff different. Because after that last rap I had on the melon there, it's like almost like a cloud. You know, you're here, you see stuff, but it ain't the same. You know, it's just I don't see the light coming through the window and shining off a piece of furniture like I used to. I don't know if that's everybody or that's just from my situation. But I kind of missed it. I thought, man, you know that's a good feeling to have when I can see something like 100%. Maybe that's my vision. I don't know, but you know, a couple of times I thought to myself, man, you know what? I should be at this age I am now. I should have my white ass down there in Florida.
Do kids ever
When's the last time
have their?
you had a new
Go ahead.
prescription for your glasses? Last time.
Who, me? What, 6 months
Yeah.
ago, I think. I'm good with
Yeah, I'm
that.
due.
I'm just saying,
2 years glasses. Well, I don't get free glasses. I get $90 off the glasses I choose.
yeah.
I pay for eye insurance. They only give you $90.
Well, my prescription's a lot because of the thickness of it or the most power or whatever the hell they call it. But I just wear what my sunglass clip magnet thing, you know. Otherwise, I got Mr. Magoo's. I had an uncle, my dad, one of my mother's brothers. He Uncle Frank. He wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force, but they wouldn't let him do it because of his eyes. Oh, look who's here!
Hello, Americans.
Hey,
Yeah,
Friday. Early Dark Friday.
USA
Yep.
#1. Let me see. After
How's it
tomorrow, after tomorrow, we start getting light.
Simon, I was watching the derby last weekend, and I was thinking of you. You finally won one.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta look at the back door.
well, I have to go. It's too late for me now.
Okay.
And,
Okay, Gary.
You gotta go, Gary. You're only allowed a couple minutes a day, huh?
well, yeah, it's
Hey.
late, and I'm sitting here in the bedroom. So
You got
Hey,
better
just
things
so-
to
my girlfriend's downstairs. I think she wants to come up now.
Okay.
You
All
should
right.
So,
ring a
I'll-
bell.
What's that?
Thanks for stopping.
Good night and Merry
Yeah,
Christmas
thanks
to you.
for the conversation.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Gary.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you too. I probably won't see you. That's right.
Happy
Next,
Merry Christmas.
yeah,
Next
Merry
Friday.
Christmas to you too. We have our light right there.
Uh-oh. Well, because he's leaving sooner than that.
Yep.
I gotta look out the back door. I'm making noise.
So you watch the derby then, Kiko?
No, I didn't watch it. I was keeping track of the score. They didn't show it on TV here.
All right.
Oh. They showed some inconsequential game, you know. I wish they would have showed.
That was
Yeah,
a good
the
game.
old Manchester City's not doing well this year, so. But they had
Well,
their time at the
I think they've lost 8 out of 10, the last 10.
right. And Liverpool's quite the club right now, I guess.
Yep.
Looks like they're running away with it, right?
I think Chelsea might win it this year.
Oh yeah.
I think so. They're looking good.
Behind on the table they are 3 points, 5 points maybe.
Yeah, a couple of games.
So all the Christmas parties over with now?
Well, we've only got our own now at home.
I see.
So yeah, have you got snow on the ground yet?
Yeah, we had a light dusting this morning. It's probably plus 2 degrees here right now, Celsius.
All right.
So just above freezing.
Yep.
But the snow has stuck. Just enough to make everything look white, just like a Christmas scene. So.
Yeah. Well,
I
over
thought
there.
what was had quite the winter weather, right?
Sorry,
You were
say
showing
again.
up. I said a couple weeks ago on Facebook you had pictures. Was that snow and ice of a parking lot or something?
Yeah, that was that job. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago that, but it's been damp ever since. It's not been.
Oh, it's new. It's new. You know, I think my one dog died. But today, I got these little dogs. Mother-in-law she got these little dogs and she keeps giving them to us. You know, I don't want them little fuckers. The other night, man. Hey.
Gift you a couple of Christmas gifts on your floor.
What?
Tell Simon about the dog that came in and gave you a Christmas present on your floor.
Well, twice, man. Yeah, I think it was I think it was Loca. He got like the Chinese Pekingese, whatever the fuck. She looked like a German Shepherd, snout, color, ears.
One for
Two nights. The last couple of mornings, I opened the front door and the curtains on, you know, covered it up. So I just get some air in here, and I go back in the room here, and kids out in the front in the living room watching whatever on the phone or TV. And I come out and fucking dog shit in my fucking kitchen. I'm like, what? I know it ain't that little one. It's called they call this other one Bungie. This thing is like under a year old. I mean, it humps. He tried skull fucking her the other day. She tried skull fucking the dog the other day. She had the wrong end, but he didn't care. I'm like, damn, dude. You know, she's like, get off of me. You know, she's not in the mood. But he's a little ornery little fucker, man. You know, they had a shit party here last night.
Dog likes you.
Yeah, dog shit. All the dogs come up. Well, my other dog, he was like the shot caller. Bobby was. He'd be out there fucking making all these noises like he was Lion King, you know. And I come up and I get out there early in the morning. They're laying, all these dogs are laying around like they had some big party or something like Caligula. You know, so today there were just various sizes of dog shit all over the place.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they had a good time. Well,
Any of you guys what's that guy on YouTube? His channel was called Every Man Has a Story.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You hear about him passing away?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard before. That's a shocker, isn't it?
Second timer, I knew that Mike, My Philippine Light, My Philippine Journey. Guy's name was Mike, electrician from Texas. He had all the warning signs and people offering him all kinds of help, and he wouldn't take it.
All right.
So it was heart enlarged or some shit.
Yeah.
My when I had my plan to come here, that's when foreigners could be on Phil Hill. And when that changed, when that changed it for a lot of people because we can't be on theirs anymore. Therefore, I have to maintain a healthy savings account in case I have a spot sickness, a serious one.
Yeah.
Heart bypass or some shit like that. First, you gotta get to the hospital alive. Good luck with that one.
Good luck with waiting for an ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll go all around but where you're at.
No, these are charged. It works.
I know where it is. Other than that, So I feel sorry for the person when I have them go trim that grass out on the other side of the wall.
And me, Gary.
Gary left.
Yeah, he left a message in the. He posted a message.
All about, yeah.
What did it say? Let me see. Well, not really, because he had said the health issues he had.
I know he had a dodgy ticket anyway, didn't he?
He said he had a quadruple bypass in the past. Already had a heart attack previously. But I feel bad for that what's that little one under 6 months probably.
Little Rogan,
Little
is it?
boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll just have to go back to living the lifestyle again,
Yeah.
Single mother again.
She's lucky enough. She looks good enough. They should get another man, Dumagetti, man.
His doctor in Dumagetti said he was okay. Well,
I saw it. He had a stream where he said he was feeling good and he didn't think he needed to take certain medications anymore. He had cut down on the number he was taking from some number down to 2 or 3. So
my doctor told me, he goes, "You don't got no cholesterol no more. You're perfect. You don't have to take those pills no more." So, oh, fuck you. Okay. Yeah, I ain't fucking around, man.
so your doctor in the PI told you that?
Yeah, I'm like, nah. I just no. I'm not. I'm still gonna do this. With the stomach one, I changed. The expensive one, I stopped. But I still got the omeprazole. But this dude, I don't know if I said this story before, but I'm sitting there, nothing to be excited about with the doctors. I'm trying to explain to them my how I got to where I am, with the health. That's a Saturday where cash money, in his pocket, so you can go booze it up. There's about 100 people out there. Fucking spend 5 minutes or less, and then 500 pesos or whatever. I'm sitting there kind of like I'm just not interested in his spiel. I almost snapped at him a couple of times, but I didn't. And I thought, and he says, "Yeah, you might feel this way, but I bet your pussy'd make you happy." My wife said, I went, at first I was shocked. I looked at her and she had her head down. He said it twice. He said it again. He goes, "I had to say something to make you feel good." I put it in say pussy.
This was a doctor?
Yeah, that fucking doctor.
With her in the room? Wow.
Yeah.
In fucking America, that would have been on TV.
Yeah.
That'd have been on Jerry Springer.
Oh, feel free,
If you were
Tom.
back in the UK, they'd put you in jail, huh, Simon?
Oh yeah, definitely. Would have had a case.
Yeah. No, Your Honor, you go to court, well, yeah, you made him happy, laugh. I laughed, I looked at my wife, I said, boy, that, she probably shouldn't have fucking said that. And he said it again, He said I could stop this, that, and the other thing. Like, okay, sure. No, I think I'll fucking continue. I had my, what do you call it, lowered from 40 to 20. Because at 40 is high, and you could have problems if you keep taking 40. My other doctor in America said, well, that's why we're monitoring. And I go, what do you mean? So it's good today. And between now and 6 months from now, something fucking happens. What happened to the monitoring? Where'd that get us? Or if I don't make it in the next 6 months and I'm dead, he goes, well, you must have not worked out for him. Wasn't in the cards. Humorous, but Jesus. So what's happening in ice cold Merry old England?
What's what?
Is it ice cold there?
No, it's about 4 Celsius.
Oh.
So it's above freezing.
Did you dress up for the office party where Maria works?
No, it was the only staff allowed there. The receptionist.
They dress up like that for those girls?
Staff only party.
Yeah, but it's a Christmas jumper, isn't it? They have to wear.
Well, not something that you can't bend over and pick anything up.
How
man.
was the food? Did she say?
Said it was very nice. It looked okay to me.
Yeah.
Looked good.
I thought you would have went with her.
No, it was just for the receptionist team.
Yeah. Well, how many they got in that joint?
Eh?
How many they got there?
How many
Oh, it's,
receptionists?
Just how many receptionists? I think there's about, I'm not sure. But it's a lot of buildings.
All hands. Bunch of hands, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a big company, CBRE. They're all over the world.
Yeah, you can imagine that the Chismets going around there going, the one came in at, who was she trying to impress? She want be off the doctor.
Yeah, they had a Christmas party and then they had a meal the week after.
You weren't allowed to partake in any of that, huh?
No,
Was the meal
Not
at work
allowed.
or at a restaurant?
say again, Kiko.
I said, was the meal at work or was it at a restaurant?
No, we're like on the site. It's a big business park here. It's only 5 minutes up the road from me. A
Oh,
big
that's
business park. It's called the Engine Rooms. It's a big restaurant place where they have functions and that, but it belongs to the company.
Oh, wow.
It's called the Engine Rooms.
Must have been an old locomotive.
Got their own chefs there and that, you know what I mean?
So it's only 5 minutes up the road, huh? That you have
Yeah,
to
it only takes her 5 minutes to get to work.
Nice.
She still got the same car?
Yeah, she still got it.
What's her hours?
She works 8 while 5.
Okay. 1 hour
she-
for lunch, probably. Huh?
She's
1 hour for
yeah.
lunch.
She's bushed when she gets home, huh?
She's what?
She's tired when she gets home.
Nah, she's only sat on her ass at a reception desk.
Yeah, no, but you gotta control a lot of different things.
Nah, she does that. She has to do building checks and she does the car park monitoring when they're coming in the morning on the barriers, letting people in and out. does all the help stuff.
Back the fuck up. Oh yeah.
They've even got their own. They've even got their own bus for employees. Kiko,
Shit,
Nice.
parking
free bus rides into the estate. Like,
from a parking ride.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's
no,
cool.
from the train station. Picks them up from the train station and takes them onto the business park.
Well,
So, but
that's
the
good.
car park, do they have a security gate? Now,
Yeah,
does
all
she have
secure.
that?
It's all different cars. It's a massive place. It's a massive industrial estate.
Now, do
You-
the receptionists have to let them in, or don't they have some kind of ID card to see?
Yeah,
to get in?
they have the swab card where you put your
Right.
hand out the window and tap it. But some of them try to get it to park there who are not allowed to park.
I see.
So, because each occupier, they're allocated so many parking spaces in each car park, depending on which company. Some of them have more, some of them have less. But the car park spaces cost the occupier £900 a year for each space.
Wow.
I don't do that.
So some of them try and come in bumper to bumper.
Correct.
You know what I mean? She has to tell them, sorry, you're not allowed to park. You can go and park at such a place, which is like a 5-minute walk. They don't like it.
What if they disobey? Do they have security that?
Yeah, they've got their own
Talk to them.
security firm on there and everything.
Right.
They got all the higher ups get the parking there first.
Well, obviously the main people park there, but they have to pay each even Rolls Royce that are on there. I think they've got about 50 allocated spaces.
Simon, how was she able to get that job originally? Did she know somebody?
No, she worked there. She was that's where she was cleaning. Remember when she did the cleaning job?
Oh, okay. Yes.
She did the cleaning job there, and then it come up on the notice board, and she told me about it. I said, apply for it. You might get it.
Right.
Hey, what happened to your trip coming in over here?
Yeah, she don't want to go over this year. She don't want to go. So she applied for it.
One of my old workmates, he became a supervisor. And
Well, they've got good. It's quite a good company to work for, apparently.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, one girl who is now a building manager there, and she started off as a cleaner.
how old is she?
She's probably in her 30s.
She'll be there a while.
But they look after them. They get bonuses at Christmas, and they look after them. They go into the engine rooms, which is the restaurant. They can go in any day of the week they want, and they get. Whereas if me and you walked in, it'd cost us what, £10 for a lunch or something. They get it half price because they work for the company.
Nice.
That's nice.
Hey, how's that coworker or the guy at the job that hurt his arm? Have you heard how he's doing now?
Yeah, I was talking to his mate who was working with him this morning. He can move his fingers and wrists now.
Wow,
They
that
put it
is
on-
just amazing.
Amazing.
Put it on backwards? Did they put it on backwards?
No, but he
Kinda
can.
odd
He's got.
shaking hands from now on.
That is
They reckon it's
That
going
is-
to be limited, like, but he's starting getting the feeling he can move his fingers and wrists. So
well, that,
he
you
might
know,
not. He might not be able to choke his chicken.
that is he'll have to get ambidextrous
That's
now.
a new meaning for hired hand, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You might
he's
think
blessed.
somebody else is doing it.
He's quite blessed, man. That's good news.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's amazing what they can do nowadays.
It
Oh,
is, man.
Unbelievable.
The guy
But
from
you
Duck
said
Lebanon,
the other man said his arm was just laying down the bottom, right?
Yeah, it was on the floor, still holding the hammer.
Yeah.
the hand that got cut, the arm got cut off with holding the hammer.
Yeah, still had the hammer in his hand.
Was it above the elbow or below the elbow or right at?
It was. I think it was just below. It was above the elbow.
Right, but you said the fact that the machine squeezed it is what saved his life.
Yeah, because the
Provided a natural tourniquet.
the pressure of the hydraulic press kept all his artery.
Otherwise, that shit
Flowed.
would have came flying out of him.
There was only a little
Yeah.
drop of blood. There was a couple of drops of blood on the floor. That was it.
Wow. Oh, boy. You would have had that, it would have just, he would have bled out before anybody.
Well,
came
that's
out.
what the doctor said to his mate who was on the phone to him. He said, "Don't, whatever you do, don't move him from that. Don't
Yeah,
try
don't
to free
move
him
the
from the
machine."
machine because he'll be dead before we get there."
Well,
He'd
that
have
was
just bled out.
definitely life-saving advice there.
Yeah. Well, normally your first thoughts is you've got to get him out of there, wouldn't it?
Right. First thought is to retract the machine.
You know what? That's nice that other people around you know what, instead of everybody being totally lost, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
That's that up on their, their mind is sharp and they know what.
The guy himself even took his own belt off and said to his mate, "Hey, tie that round the top of my arm."
Wow.
That's what he said. But the doctor, the doctor asked him on the phone, he said, "Have you done anything?" He said, "Yeah, we've just tied a belt round the top of his arm." He said, "No, go and take it off." He said, "You don't need to do that because he's not losing any blood."
I think this guy's achieved saint status.
Yeah. I said to his mate, he must have been in the SAS. He was hard as nails, He was stood there the whole while.
Ooh,
I'd have probably passed out.
I have a Frankenstein scar in his arm, but so what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had all that triage training in the military. Tony, I don't know if the Army did it, but first aid,
Oh, I don't remember that.
battlefield
45 years.
battlefield triage, all that training.
Yeah, dude's
And
blessed.
they made it as real life as possible.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great story.
But he was telling me, like, when I was speaking to him, his mate, because he asked him, "Do you remember anything?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Until that doctor gave me that injection." And he said, "And everything." This is the guy who had his arm cut off. He said everything started looking. He said, "I thought I was fucking a giant."
Everything looked like a Beatles album cover from 1969 after that, right?
Yeah, he said everything went with massive. He said, "I thought my head was going to explode."
Give
Said
him,
everything looked like 10 times the size as it was.
oxycodone, that or morphine or something.
How old is this fellow?
Whatever drug they give him to kill the pain.
Simon, how old was the man who was injured? How old was he?
Oh, he was due to retire on the December the 4th.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that.
A couple of weeks later, he should have retired. Well, that retired him earlier, but he was retiring on December the 4th.
Right.
But you mean retiring from the job, but your British pension is 67 years old, right? For the state pension.
Yeah, for the state pension, but he was retiring from his job. He's probably about 65.
Okay. Wow.
Boy, oh boy, I don't want to. It wouldn't have worked out like that for me, man.
Yeah, 2 weeks shy of retirement. That's
Yeah. So he finished 2 weeks early.
His age.
maybe he'll get some extra money now above.
Well, I think he will. I think he will do.
Yeah, he'll milk that workman's comp. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe his
Jesus.
company's liable for some award money or something,
Well, I think because the machine, it wasn't a brand new machine. They brought it from another factory,
Right.
and it didn't have the safety drop rail where if something drops when it shouldn't do, like in this case the press.
Right. It wouldn't go all the way down.
There's a bar that stops it from going all the way down. That wasn't it.
It's called that machine, right? They
What?
brought it in.
they didn't think of that before they came. That's on them.
Well,
Even if the-
apparently, because I was speaking to his mate, he said the old machines didn't have one. He said, but the same machine now, the newer machine, they have
Simon,
them.
who do you think would be liable? The place you were working at, or the company? He was probably a subcontractor, right? Coming
He's
into
a
that machine.
subcontractor, yeah.
So do you
He's
think
a
his
subby.
company would be liable, or also
Everybody.
yours, or the
I think,
facility?
well, the machine it was a massive fucking big baling machine that they brought from another site, and it's a good few years old. It wasn't a new machine, you know what I mean? Because the new machine cost about £1 million. So rather than buy a new one, they was closing
I don't know.
they was
Do you
closing
know
the
if
place down, so they brought the machines over from the old place.
I don't know if you have OSHA there, but if that's the case where they have new safeguards, there should have be retrofitted that thing.
Yeah,
If you can't do it, then you just don't use the machine.
yeah.
I think any lawyer would be really keen to take on his case. You know, to
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I think
Help him
he'll
out.
get a payout. I think he'll get a payout.
Plus his pension. He's live, man. Got an arm
Yeah.
on. Fuck,
Right.
I wouldn't be worried about getting. I'm at last 2
But
weeks. My work.
then again, all his medical bills are free, right? Because you're in the UK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the UK, yeah. The company that was having the machine fitted, who I've done this job for, is probably the biggest frozen food company in England. Been going since 1970, and the owner of it, who's just stepped down, and his son's the managing director, is Sir Malcolm Suchabody. His name is. He's a Sir. So he started this business off in the 1970s. And it's don't know how much it's worth, but it's got to be worth millions every year. You know what I mean? So I don't think a payout is going to affect them anyway. The insurance will cover that, won't it?
Yeah, he's in a good place right now. Everything going on. Says freaking health back, hopefully, 100%.
Yeah.
There's some people that freak out about shit. And it sounds like this guy just went, "Oh, that's the way shit goes." He didn't freak
Well,
out.
the thing is, it's not as if he was new to the job. He's fucking been doing it all his life, the same job.
But I was a helper at this one company I went to while I was waiting to get my bus driver job. They made car cylinder keys for the auto industry, and they had a slack wire feeder on this one machine. The machines were housed with doors and insulation, and I when the I don't know if it was copper or I forget what brass. It would I'd have to put on a new spool, and the thing until it catches up to normal, when the machine cycles and pulls the new material through, then it hits the slack wire feeder and tells it to stop, or give more. And I got my fingers sliced like that real fast. Didn't take much. You don't think it will. You look at that and you go, "I can't believe it." Surprise, surprise.
I know. Tony, when I was like 19, working in the mill, I was on. I think I told you the place put on the threads, male and female threads on oil filled pipes. You know. And I was just starting to learn the lathe machine. I was going to be a lathe operator. And it's all metal chucks and everything, and coolant hoses because
I ran
that
those.
lathe is spinning and you're cutting razor thin,
Yeah.
threads. Well, I was inexperienced and I went to unlock or release the coolant hose off the chuck, and it wasn't fully done spinning. And I just bumped my right thumb on that, and it split open, looked like an alligator mouth opened up.
Oy, oy.
my thumb, the end of my thumb. But boy, did that throb and hurt.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
closed my finger.
I got it
I closed-
stitched up, but I never got anything from that. I'm 19.
No, I
I didn't know I should get compensated for it or
I
anything.
go right back to work.
Yeah. I got stitched up and was off a day or two from the throbbing and went back to work.
Ooh, and I had one of
Said
those.
anything else.
I had one of those cans where you take that key and you turn it all the way around to get the lid off.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Those
Yeah.
are
Well,
dangerous.
I had the munchies. Yeah, so I'm in the barracks and I got we had just got stoned, earlier on. I need some munchies, man. I got this from their son, and I sliced that edge of that container went right deep into the meat of my finger, man. My middle
Oh,
finger. Oh, well, I was up half the night, and I got up and went to work. My sergeant says, "Well, I'd have thought you'd have taken off today." I said, "What do you mean? I could have?" He goes, "Yeah, I didn't know."
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
no throbbing like that, huh? When you cut into the
Fuck,
meat of your fingers.
dude, when it starts, man, before that comes, when it starts to circulate again, I closed my finger off in a car door. I went and shut it. I locked it. My finger was in there.
Oh,
Almost pinched it off, man. And I'm like, well, this doesn't fucking hurt. But once half an hour went by, an hour. All of a sudden,
don't speak too soon, huh?
Oh my God.
Hey, Kiko, how was that party you went to last week?
Oh, it's good. My wife said there's about 115, 115 people there.
Right.
A lot of them.
Nobody drank?
No, I was the only one that, well, it was held at a fire hall. And when I got there, there was nothing, no drink. And I asked my wife's friend who was, I said, it's rented in your name. I said, I don't want you to get in trouble. Are they allowed to have alcohol here? And she said, yeah, I think so. So I bought a case of beer and only like 4 guys wanted a beer from me. So ended up bringing almost the whole case home. So
We got a guy in the factory who goes, he had a can of the non-alcoholic Miller, it still got like 2%. My friend said, you can't have that you can't drink that out of that machine. Non-alcoholic, look at the label, it tells you. There's a little bit in there.
You should say, look, I'm not an alcoholic. So it says non-alcoholic.
Hey, some of the factories, boy, my first job I ever had, we made stuff for the locomotive industry. I even forget all the shit it was. But they had no jigs. The jig was you hold that plate while you're fucking on a drill press and holding it steady. Those guys, we'd go out for lunch and fucking pounding shots and throwing beers down, you got a half hour only. Then you come back and I'm fucking talking loud.
Oh, Simon, Maria would have loved that party though, because it was all Filipino food.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I should have loved that one.
The only thing, there wasn't much fish at all.
Right.
And dried fish smells worse than booty tang, don't it?
Booty tang.
Man, that's the fucking salt, dude. Salt. Why don't you just open up a fucking bag of salt and throw it down your throat? Yeah, man.
Well, it's not the best smelling fish, is it? That dried fish.
To leave it out. You got.
That's one of the reasons I'm glad I can't smell.
It's got to be the capital, the number one country in the world with high blood pressure. Well,
I remember the first time of cooking it here at home when I come in from work. I said, Jesus Christ, who's died?
Smell like chitlins and shit. Oh, you ever smell that shit? That's like sewage, man. Holy cow. How can anybody find any joy eating something that just reminds you of the smell of a fucking toilet, you know.
So what's on the table at Christmas this year, Kiko? Turkey?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what we're making. Might make a thing called we call it city chicken,
All right.
which is actually like a pork kebab. It's not chicken at all.
Right.
It's pork, you know, marinated on a stick,
All right.
and then with some kind of breading. You know how you have your fish and chips? How the fish is
What?
breaded?
Battered,
Well,
yeah.
they put the breading on this pork, and then you put it on a stick, and it's like a kebab. And baked
Right.
in the oven for a long time. And a good gravy over top of it. It's really good.
Hey, Simon, you like that old lady video I sent you? They're gonna get sassy.
With what?
That old lady, that good-looking old lady said they're gonna get sassy.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's it now. No more work till the new year.
For you?
Oh, really? You got a whole Christmas week off, huh?
I finished that job today, this morning.
Oh, final.
I only went in today to do the tidy up, get rid of all my shit, and off fire the machines.
So you're totally done with that place now, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say totally done. The contract's done, but I think they're looking for more extras
I see.
in the new year, so I'll probably have a visit in the new year.
You got a new project planned? After
Not
that?
yet. Not yet.
That's good.
So,
You got a little time off.
Yeah.
Maria's
The,
got work over.
Back to be so much first week of January, probably.
How long you been on this job that you have right now?
I went on there at the beginning of April, so 9 months.
Yeah. Is your daughter still dating that rich kid?
Yeah. She just walked past when you said that, Tony.
Say what?
Did she hear?
What?
Yeah, she heard it. She stopped and looked and started laughing.
She sat up like a beagle, huh?
Well, his
Oh.
dad, he owned his grandfather did. He owned a business park here in Culture.
Well, he can afford to pay for the movies.
Yeah, well, his old fella's worth about 30 million.
Ah,
You got to step up her game and go for royalty next time.
Hey, Tony, remember that picture I sent you of that American car, and he asked you what it was?
oh yeah, Riviera. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his.
Buick Riviera, huh?
That's his dad's car.
Oh yeah,
He likes the old American classics.
71 or 70.
Yeah, I think it was a 70. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they-
Got
you
one
know
of
what?
those over in the UK, huh?
Yeah, well, he's gonna the high school prom. I told the boyfriend, tell your dad he's got to take him in that Riviera.
Yeah, but you know what? Buick was like a trendsetter for wild stuff. And that torpedo rear end on them. That was back in the day, though. Boy.
I like them Boss 309s, me, Tony.
Yeah. Oh, 309.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ford 409.
Is it a 409 or 309 Boss?
409.
409.
302.
You mean the Mustang?
There was
Yeah.
one year. There was one year where Ford and Chevy had the same engine,
What? Really?
the same style engine. Yeah, 30.
Oh.
It was either the 302 or the 307.
Tony, do you remember? I think my truck, I had a 77 Ford F-250, and I think the engine was a 351 Cleveland. Do you remember hearing
Yeah.
those?
Me? Yeah, I'm about right. Heavy duty though.
Oh, yeah, that was a F-250. It sat up high. It wasn't lifted, but it was stock that high, you know?
Yeah.
But boy, it only got like 7 miles per gallon.
A big old truck like that could pull shit too. You know, it ain't even that. Unbelievable what the price of those things. what they do. It's not to me. It ain't work.
Yeah, I like watching them old American classic cars
Yeah.
on YouTube.
They have,
So Simon, what's the price per liter now for petrol?
Over here, it's the local garage here. It's £1.41 a litre.
Wow.
But at
Where
Costco, at
60.
Costco garage, if I go to Costco, but you have your trade card, your membership card, that's 10 pence a litre cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're members of Costco here in the States.
Yeah.
you got about 60, 61, 53 for regular gas. 52 or 53 for the diesel.
Yeah. I remember when diesel was cheaper than gas.
Oh yeah, man! We'd be on the turnpike here going from Wisconsin to Ohio, and I'd look and
It should
Man,
be because it doesn't take as much refining.
they do now because there's more regulations, so they got to make it better. Matter of fact, they changed it so much that in the buses they give it this like to help kickstart to have, put some pop in it. You know, it's like acid, some kind of acid. I don't know if it was sulfuric acid. I don't know what it was, but you'd see the shit oozing out the hole they would throw it down, you know.
Simon, that's what I wanted to ask you. In England, do you have any electric buses or LNG?
Yeah.
Buses?
They started doing them now, yeah.
Propane,
Yep.
natural gas. Hey, maybe you can get that girl. That boyfriend there to help her Bob loan that car to you for a while, driving around.
Yeah. Well, he just bought him. His dad just bought him a new car for when he passes his test. It's a little Volkswagen.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, that's a date.
GTI. We call it a
That's
GTI here in the States.
Yeah,
Bug.
small one, but he's
A little Golf. We call it either a Golf or Rabbit.
yeah, Golf.
I used to call it golf. But they still got golf in the States.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
still
know.
Volkswagen Golfs. Those are good little cars.
They don't have the Rabbit though. Yeah, but
You know, I had when
Volkswagen.
my wife
Shit.
my wife first came here from the Philippines. When she first arrived, I bought a brand new Volkswagen Golf turbo diesel.
Yeah.
Manual, right? I figured
Yeah.
I'd drive that for 20 years. And then I tried to teach her how to drive a manual. She could never get the hack of it. So I had to trade it in
Hey,
for an automatic.
you make a lot of money when your company gets fined $1 billion for ticking around with so the cars would pass
the emissions, yeah.
$1 billion. $1 billion.
That was a scam, I think.
Yeah. Volkswagen, they don't got a good track record over here. A lot of folks.
There was a woman co-worker I had. She had one of those Passats diesel, Volkswagen Passat.
Passat.
And she had like 100,000 miles on it. Loved it. Got great fuel mileage. And she had to give it back or turn it into the green government monsters who didn't like it, and it was like she got $11,000 for it or something like that. $11,000.
I beat the snot out of almost every car I've ever owned. Do a lot of things different when you got a pitcher of beer on by you.
But that one Simon has, yours is a Nissan, right?
Nissan X-Trail, yeah.
And it's a manual and it's a diesel, right?
Yep. Yes.
Wish we could get those here. They just do not sell them here. No diesels. Diesels are taboo, pretty much.
Why?
Diesels are great here.
I know, everywhere else in the world. So what's that tell you?
Why don't you have them there, Kiko?
Probably because of the emissions thing. The only
Yeah.
diesel you can buy, I think maybe you can, I don't know if you can get a Volkswagen diesel anymore or not. Probably not, since that scandal.
So it's all gas.
Pretty much. I'm trying to think of a diesel car.
The only problem.
I think you could get a Volkswagen SUV called a Tiguan here.
Oh, they're
It's
shit.
a big SUV. I think that was a diesel,
Yeah, yeah.
They're crap. They're crap, man.
but I'd never buy one of those.
They're crap. The problem here with the problem here in light duty pickup trucks is that smoke or this whatever it is, I won't say soot, but it coats the oxygen sensor and F's up everything in
The
it.
DEF, they call it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The fuel you got to add to it every so often. Do
Yeah,
have
that's
that,
what they-
Simon?
That's what they did with the bus company.
Yeah, you've got to add blue, it isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Because
Simon,
it-
what's it called?
There's a thing that you add in. It's got a separate tank. Not on mine, but on some of them now. It's called AdBlue, and it's like a clear liquid.
I
Yeah,
gotta
I've
tell
heard
you
here they call it a DEF. I don't know. Maybe it's like for diesel emission.
Yeah,
fluid or
no,
something, I don't
it's like putting an octane booster in there because the shit they make. I gotta tell you this funny deal, man. Our newer buses at the time, on the back of them, it says near zero emission. And a couple times there were buses where just blowing freaking black crap out the roof.
Man, so I wish they made those Toyota diesel trucks like Tony has here. I'd buy one in a heartbeat.
Yeah, yeah.
Manual
You know what?
diesel is what I would own.
You know
The
what
high
gets to me?
looks.
They make them sound like shit though. It sounds like the motor's gonna fall apart.
No, Simon, here you can't get a Highlander or whatever the Toyota SUV is called for you. You can't get that in manual or diesel here.
Innova.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Innova's a 2.8. I don't know if that's gas or diesel. I think it's
Simon,
diesel.
are you familiar with that vehicle called a Troopy?
Troopy. I've heard the name.
Do you watch that guy from Laos, right? Now
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Laos? The Aussie guy, that white trooper he's got.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think it's a Toyota. He calls it a Troopy.
Yeah, they have a different name,
That's
don't
what
they?
I'd love
Over
to have here, a manual
Yeah.
Troopy. You know?
Yeah, well, I want to go on a trip to the UK and take me to Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. Brewery.
Yeah. And my daughter Amy liked reading all those books.
Hogwarts over there is a brewery called Hogwarts, Tony, as well.
I used to mess with her all the time. I saw Hufflepuff and I purposely butcher it.
Hobgoblin.
She'd get mad at me.
You want this one?
Who are you talking to? What? You got two of them there, Pico?
No, my wife.
Yeah, yeah. Which one? You got? We only got one.
The boss. The boss. He's talking to the boss.
I'm
One.
drying dishes. She's washing. I'm drying.
You drive. What's the matter with you?
I wondered what all the jingling was sounded.
You wonder what that was, huh?
I was wondering what the
Christmas
jingling
bells.
was.
Hey, Simon, that was the sound of a man doing what he's told to do.
Yeah.
That's right. We ain't at Bootlon anymore. Dorothy, wake up. Right? Isn't that right, Tony?
What do you do today? Tonight's date night, Simon. It's Friday night by you, right?
Friday night.
Hey, so the next job every night's going to be date night, right?
Friday, Heidi.
Friday high day.
Tim's a rock and roll animal. No, a radio station called WFPX.
Tony, remember when Friday used to be payday? And it
Oh, yeah.
broke by Monday morning.
Oh, you remember standing in line at the bank for freaking 2 hours, man, waiting to cash
Yeah.
your check?
Cash a check. Yep.
Do you see how small banks are now? They're little. They're like the size of a garage.
They're smaller than a McDonald's kiosk.
Do
They don't-
everything. I got Huntington. They got the best phone app ever.
It's all
Oh.
online now, though, isn't it? Paid into your account.
Well, the thing is, I live over here, so they won't send a code to my phone over here. They won't call me. If there's a problem, I have to have him, you know. So I help him out with a little of the wedding bills.
Last week was the first day I was inside a bank branch for a long time. I picked up a couple checks from my sister, who she was the executor of my mom's estate, right? So
All right.
I had to stand in one for 10 hours a day.
just got a few hundred quid, as Simon would say, to reimburse for the stuff like grave opening and the funeral luncheon and stuff I helped pay.
You know, here they put you outside for 5 days, put a little tent above you.
Yeah. Say good
You
luck
like
with
it?
that.
You like our saying, don't you, Kiko, when we say quid?
I want to make sure they got my middle finger.
Got that from YouTubers. Oh, Backpacker Ben
Backpacker Ben, yeah.
and Bald and Bankrupt. Yeah.
Oh, too big, you know.
That's the English twang for money, quid.
Yeah. He that one time, the first time he ever said, "Well, butter my ass." I'm like, what does that mean? Right?
What do you say?
Tell him, Simon.
Well, butter my ass.
It's kind of like us saying, "Well, I'll be," you know.
Butter on his
Something
ass?
surprises you.
Who puts butter in their ass?
And I learned from him what knackered was.
Knackers?
Tired.
When him and Kat are done with a rough day on the road, he said, "We're shagged,"
Shag.
which is another term, right?
Yeah.
A couple ways to.
We have two definitions for that term, eh?
Right. At least a couple, yeah. And
We don't
then
have shake.
what else do they say? Oh, when they're gonna eat something, I'm gonna smash this, right? I'm gonna smash this meal, right?
Yeah, we're going to smash it.
Right.
Call them sausages bangers for a reason,
I
right?
pick up a lot of English slang.
Bangers.
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash with onion gravy. Can't beat it.
Peas have no flavor.
I think I'll go for a Norfolk Bronze this year for Christmas dinner.
Hey, I thought
Guess
you go.
what?
You never told me about that place. You got the what do you call it? That Italian place.
Oh, yeah.
The
Don
calzone.
Luigi, it's called.
Don Luigi.
Don Luigi.
Don Luigi.
Yeah,
DOM.
that's the name of the restaurant.
Don or Dom?
Don. D-O-N.
Okay. Well, what did you like it or what?
Yeah, it was nice.
Did you take Irish there?
No, I didn't take him there. I wouldn't have took him there. It's a bit too posh for him.
Too posh, too.
Too posh for him.
Isn't he back in Cyprus now? For the
Yeah, he's in
holidays?
Cyprus, yeah.
Too posh. We gotta put a suit on and go in there and eat some grease.
No, it's just the way he eats, Tony.
Oh,
You could afford it.
2 potatoes more than a pig.
You
don't get your
can't-
hands anywhere near his
You
mouth.
never.
Yeah.
You only take the prime minister to an all-you-can-eat. That's the only place you can take.
That's where we took him. We took him to the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
You can't order a la carte or he'll
I
drive
thought
you
the
to the
UK
poor
and
farm.
Chinese food.
That's where we took him.
Hey, is that like in the movies, like the cartoons where they got the spoons, they just keep shoveling and
Yeah.
hardly chew it?
You can go up and help yourself.
My buddy's wife, she used to eat stuff. She would sample it, like a hard-boiled egg. She'd take a little bit off, bite a little bit off, and taste it, and just throw the rest of the egg all the way down her throat.
Oh,
And then he's wondering.
all these guys are sitting around saying she's a keeper.
He thought I was making fun of her. I said, "Ed, man," because she had to have her stomach. She had to have a mesh. She had to have a mesh put in her stomach because her stomach was split
Hey,
from doing it.
I hope Christian's not listening.
Your your gut can only digest so much and so fast. And when you overwork it like that, you mess it up. So
Ever eat
you
raw
know,
eggs?
yeah, no, I don't know about. No, I don't think so. Maybe I don't.
One time I was in Japan and they had this sashimi, which is just raw meat, right? And whether it be fish, beef, whatever. So he said, I'm sitting at this, we're all drunked up, right? It's a going away party in the military. These Japanese commanders having us for a party. So he said, with the chopsticks, you take this raw slice of beef, and then they got a bowl with egg in it, raw egg. You dip it in the raw egg, and then you eat it.
Not for me.
Cook any of this shit?
Not
No,
for
they
me.
ate it. No, not for me either.
No.
Why would I
I
go
did
to
it
a
once
restaurant?
because I wanted to save face and I was drinking. So
Yeah, yeah. You
Somebody-
tried it once.
Raw egg.
that's like raw oysters. I tried those one time. That's it.
You just
Never
let them
again.
kick you in the nuts.
Yeah.
Call it a day. You know? Where's the wife at, son?
Who?
She's not home from work yet, right?
Right, it's only 4:10.
4:10 in England. She just gets off at 4, right?
Gets off at 5.
Yeah. That's our daughter, her new job. She's 9 to 5
Then
in
her
the
hours
city.
back.
So she's got like an hour drive,
Ooh.
which on a clear day, like a Sunday morning with no traffic, could be 15 minutes. But in workday traffic, it's an hour. Well, Tony, you know how that goes. You drove a bus. I mean,
Yeah. The thing of it was, one route all the way from one end to the other was 30 miles, but you're doing it at an average of 17 miles an hour.
this is about 15 miles, right? Which is what, 24 kilometers?
Yeah.
And it would normally take 15 minutes on an absolute clear day, say early Sunday morning when the whole world's sleeping basically and nobody's driving.
Yeah.
We could get there in 15 minutes. But
Yeah.
on a work day, it's an hour. So, how about you, Simon? What's your to this latest job? How long was your commute
Well,
in
it's
the morning and coming home?
been good. It's only 15 minutes of the motorway.
Wow.
So I can leave here at 6 o'clock and be there for 1:15.
Nice.
So it's been good.
My daughter, who's a former Marine, her and her boyfriend are going to Baguio City in the Philippines
Oh, nice.
this coming week.
Good.
He's full-blooded Filipino,
Good, good.
and she's my youngest daughter from my first marriage, so she's the former Marine, and he's still active duty.
All right.
But they're going to Baguio City for Christmas and his grandparents' 70th wedding anniversary.
Very nice.
70th. So there's like
70
90,
years.
70 marriage anniversary. Yeah.
That's
so,
a long time, isn't it?
So yeah.
What's
he figured he
What's
got
that anniversary called then? Because I know, like,
I
you
have
the
no idea.
diamond,
I have-
ruby.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
But
Too long.
he's going. It'll be my daughter's first time there. I mean, she was in Okinawa, Japan, in the military, but never made it to the Philippines. So,
Oh, she'll
and on their
like
way
it
home,
there.
they're going to stop in Japan for 3 days. I think they're going to hit Tokyo and spend 3 days there before coming
One of
back.
my buddies from work married a Filipina. She was from Boho. They're out playing in the snow and all that. And to outfit her and her daughter with all kinds of winter clothes. She's liking it this year. I'll wait till next year.
I'm sure she'll like it, Kiko, in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, I think she will be her first experience, and plus Baguio is a little bit cooler. But hey, they live in Florida, so they're used to the heat anyways. You know?
Yeah.
But and she's also been to Okinawa, Japan, like me, and
Yeah.
it's almost the same climate as the Philippines. So,
Yeah.
What?
but
Japan?
yeah,
her boyfriend's, he's a really good guy. He's full-blooded Filipino. He's born in the States, but his parents were both full-blooded Filipino.
Speak Tagalog or is that?
I asked him that, when I was with them, and he's like, no, not really. I said, what? He said, well, he said, my mom growing up, I could understand it, and especially when she got mad at me, I knew what that was. But he said, I said, you can't speak it. He said, no, not really.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a
I
lot of
probably
people
know
out
more
in the
than he
country
does.
that can't speak it.
But
My dad, when his dad would be around with the brother-in-laws playing cards, he pounded his fist on the table, put the card on the table, and the brother-in-law saying, well, what does it matter whether I look at it now? He's put the card on the table, in Italian, he's bitching at him.
But I'll tell you what, he's a really good young man, really respectful. He's the tallest Filipino I ever saw in my life. He's like 6'2".
Good.
Yeah, he's a Marine. He's built like a UFC fighter,
Damn.
but he's 6'2", and really nice guy. He's what, 34, so he's 9 years older than her. But
How long has he
he's
been
been
with
in
it?
about 11 years. He's thinking of getting out though. He's not going to spend 20 years. He's not going to retire. So
He's
but,
smart enough, right?
they're in a good MOS. He does the same thing my daughter did, and she's got a good job on the military facility. So he could walk into something like that too. So, but nowadays, Simon, kids now they don't want to get married. So, I mean, they bought a house together, and they seem to be doing well, but they have never said anything about getting married. I noticed she has a ring on her finger, but if they did, they never told me. So she still goes by our last name, my last name. So
Yeah.
oh well,
Nice.
as long as they get on well together, and take care of
That's
each
all
other.
that matters.
And like I
Never
said,
buy a house.
he's a real fine young man. So I can't.
Yeah, that's
couldn't
all
ask
that
for better.
matters. As long as he looks
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah, he treats her very well, and they have a beautiful house in Florida together.
Good.
Hey,
They
thanks for
carpool
movies at the
together because
cinema.
they work on the same base. So
Hey, Simon, he pays for the movie to go to cinema.
What?
He pays to go to the cinema. He pays.
Yeah. That he like this young kid, he does. He won't let Mia pay for the cinema when he goes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we get.
That's good. I tell you what, I'm glad because there's no way Simon, we wouldn't stand for any young man mistreating our daughters. So
No, no chance.
that would be a bridge too far for any of us. So
But any of us.
yeah,
I never thought it would bother me.
that's one time I could really get violent, other than self-defense.
Yeah.
My daughter Amy. First time I met her fiance, they're married now, but he said, "Hi, Tony." I didn't think that ever bothered me. I said, "What?"
Yeah.
Tony. I go, "What? We hang out? Do we hang out or something?" And my son, all these kids we in high school, in the little town we lived in, everybody knew everybody, and they graduated high school, and we were all milling around talking to different people, and I said, "Hey Ben," he goes, "Hi Tony." I said, "Fucking Tony, what the hell?" I'm like, what?
If I ever did that when my father was around, I would have got slapped upside the head.
Dude, I didn't think anything like that would ever bother me, but it did. I don't know what.
It used to be
She
yes
bust-
sir, no sir. Yes.
We
man,
went
no,
out to-
man. If they were older
we
than you stuck
We went
that
out
way.
to this a restaurant across the street from Lambeau Field, Green Bay, where the Packers play. And he's looking at all women. My daughter said, "Well, I see you staring at that girl's ass." "No, I wasn't." I go, "Fuck, I'm looking right at you, dude." Okay.
He said, "Hey, this is Tony speaking. I was looking."
Are you for I'm here too? I didn't want to rain on his parade. 'Cause I could just think,
You should have told her, "Hey, if he wasn't looking at that, I'd be a little worried about him."
yeah. I used to do it all the time. We
Oh,
walked
yeah.
into this. We walked into the zoo when my son Alex and Amy were little,
in Racine, a town about 20, 25 miles away. And my ex-wife said, "You were staring at that girl's ass all the way up like two blocks."
Tony,
I said, "No, I wasn't."
my first wife, my first wife was talking to some other women. They were talking about that, and my first wife said, "Well, yeah, he never does that," referring to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking, "Oh, she's dumb."
I'm getting away with it, so just don't say anything.
You know what? When I was a kid, you'd have all the women be in the kitchen smoking cigarettes. The whole freaking thing is just smoke. The guys be in the living room. Any one of those guys, and the women are yakking. Nobody's listening. They're all talking.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, how do you fucking tell us?
They're all talking, nothing's being said,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got 0.1 mega fucking second of good of your story, but if the guys in the other room said one thing about a woman, they'd hear that. No, you ain't going there.
I had my aunt next door, my dad's sister. She would talk your ears off. I mean, she just wouldn't stop. I guess probably she didn't talk to my uncle at all. So, everybody else was fair game.
He learned how to shut her off.
Back in the day, all we had was telephone on the wall. And the phone would ring, and I'd answer it, and it would be Aunt Ann next door, right? My mom would, and she'd say, "Who is it?" And I'd whisper. She's like, "I'm busy." Because my mom said if I got on the phone with her, I wouldn't be able to get any housework done the whole day. Because back then you're tied to the cord of the phone, right?
Yeah.
It goes so far.
I had my mom in my car. I was doing a couple of things, and I'm driving. I'm listening, and all of a sudden she says, "Well, I'm probably talking too much." I said, "I don't know." I was
said, "What'd you say?"
I was focused on my driving. It kind of looked like I wasn't listening, but I was.
Oh man!
My ex-wife said, and she said that I really didn't listen, but I wasn't paying attention. Can't get away with nothing.
Oh man, we're just from two different planets,
Yeah, today's world, who knows? Anything goes. My dad looked at me shocked the first time I was 18. I said, "Fuck in front of him."
I never
Hey, Al,
in front of mine.
I was talking shitty to him one time. He said, "Why do you talk like that to me?" I said, "He used to talk to me like that all the time." What are you talking about?
He's like, but that's different.
He was surprised, yeah. Well, as a father, he was an asshole, but didn't do shit with a kid, nothing. He was bothered by having more than two. Me and my older sister were the recipients in the back of the hand because he only wanted two kids. He had a boy and a girl. And my other two sisters were accidents.
Simon, the only time back in the day he might have heard me say that was on the football pitch. That was it.
Yeah.
The only time.
Well,
Definitely wasn't in front of him.
Oh, hell. Yeah, I didn't make a habit out of it. I'd go, "Hey, motherfuckers, how you doing?" No, I didn't do that.
Now, my next door brother, man, he was nonstop. His mouth.
yeah, I've got a brother like that. Every other word is effing.
It's
Yeah,
part
like
of
a sailor.
it's part of the culture here or in America. It's the way of expressing yourself. That's all. Oh man, I just thought of something bad. I was on my bus route. We got this lady. She's like an alcoholic, a cat. Fucking smell like a cat. And she says to me, "Hey, you want to go have a couple beers after you're done?" I'm like, "Nah, I got two girlfriends already." I had to ask. She goes, I had to ask.
She said, "I promise you it's a cat house."
Dude, you would have to be, don't smell like you, sense of smell, blind and
Right.
dead maybe, because holy shit. If you could take a whiff of somebody that much, can you imagine how big they smell when they don't have their clothes on?
Maybe that's why so many people were friendly to me, Tony.
Ah.
'Cause I was the only one who would get near them because they smelled
So you
good.
get, you know what I've never been able to understand, and, sometimes a lot of times people laugh at somebody farts. My question is, how can anybody still sit there while there's a fucking scent is in the air? It's freaking
Because of
know
like
what I
me, I
mean?
can't smell.
fuck have you go stick your face above an outhouse, you know.
I cleared the room and I'm the only one left sitting there, and I'm going, what?
We got
Everyone
we
else
had-
is turning green.
this driver Cody Christensen. He is real cool. He became a route supervisor. And I was sitting there. He comes walking in. We're at the station. We got a big room, you know. And I'm sitting there. And I'm trying to determine how much force I should use. You know, I don't want to shit my pants. You know, it is when you get older. You got to watch it. Man. So he goes. He says my face getting ready. He goes, wait a minute. He says it real loud. He walks all over the room. Wait a minute. Are you trying to fart? He makes sure everybody.
That's when you should let out a loud.
I said no. You know what I said? I said no. I'm just trying not to shit myself. That was on me, man. Facebook too. You have to show a guy with his head up in the air and his eyes closed. You know, like he goes, "This is me in the morning, thinking about what force I should use." Because you want to be careful.
Oh.
It's time to go, I think.
Okay, is your sleeping pill kicking in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it
Don't
12:30?
worry. Don't worry, that cockerel will wake you up in a few hours.
Oh, no. You know what'll wake me up in a few hours?
Well,
The freaking PA announcement when the Muslims have their little prayer thing, shouting into the wind, and then the Catholic Church will blast something too.
Oh, do you have that in Butuan?
4:30 and
have
5 o'clock every
Minaret?
day.
Really?
Every day, man.
I didn't know you had that in Butuan.
You'd hear the Muslims. Most of them live down the street.
what's that? The call for prayer?
Right.
Yeah. And then the Catholic on a loudspeaker, they'll play something for a half hour.
Don't you have that in your lovely England, Simon?
Yeah,
In the
not
city?
near me.
But in the cities you do.
In the city, yeah.
Every day, dude. Like when I'm debating, because now it takes a while to get lighter in the morning, and I'll kind of peel the curtains back to see if I can actually see the light. And when I hear them, I know it's time. I know it's 4:30.
Yeah.
Shit, and they're loud too. I ain't talking like a little bit. It's almost as if it was right next to you. I think they try to
All right,
outdo each.
You have a good sleep, and you guys have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you
All
too,
right.
Kiko.
Hopefully see you next Friday.
Hey,
Yep.
maybe Bill get a brand new car
Yeah.
from her boyfriend.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
All right. Have a good week,
Okay. Hey,
Have a
thanks
good
for
weekend.
fellas.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Merry Christmas. Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas. See you later.
Yep.
See you
Merry
later.
Christmas.